Hi, not. Hi, Base Ken. Hi, Raziel. Forgotten Locale. Um. Ryo Game Moon. Expand Dong. Wilson Dow. There we go, finally started. I swear I thought we started. I was surprised no one said anything about finally starting. Well, did I know? It didn't start at all. Alright, I'll be back in I'm gonna get some water and I'll start. Hey, Sheer King. I think I said hi to Expand Dog and Raw Phil. Hey, Army, what's up? Sorry I started, well, I know some of you are in Europe or whatever, so it's probably better that I start now, but, it took me a long time to, to set everything back up. I had nothing. Squid, coin should be back. It should all be good. Good to see all you guys, though. I'm still on my my old mic because I still can't find the cord to my more expensive one, dude. Expand Dong, you're seeing in a second that I have I got the chat thing that you showed me. I got it working. I'm very happy with how it looks. Hey Jimbo. Hey Twice Stan. Cheeky. I already told this good to see you Twice Stan. I told the story last stream, but honestly, I'm just so much habits. Habits are like the only way I get stuff done. So when I got the false copyright strikes. Oh, it looks like gambling isn't working. I'll get it working next time. I spent like an hour getting all that stuff up, so I'm sorry that it's not working. Yeah, we're in the pre-stream podcast, but like I said, I'm a massive creature of habit last stream during the test stream. So once I got the false copyright strikes by a toxic troll, I had to wait it out for a couple months. And then, it was just hard for me to start back up on something. But I'm planning on streaming. I want to stream the next 4 days. And earlier than it is today. So we'll see how that works out. You guys know I don't like making promises about streaming. Because I always flake on it. But, yeah, hopefully I'll be streaming every day. This week. But yeah, you know how planning streams goes with me. Yeah, it looks good, Expandong. I wanna, yeah, don't get your hopes up, but I mean, at the very least, if I plan to stream every day this week, or every like Monday through Friday, that means that you at least get like one other stream this week. Me and Sav were talking about doing an Amber Lynn stream because she's got a lot going on right now. I did ban fruitcake. Thank God. You guys take notice up here. We were playing on a real Famicom. A real Super Famicom. Here, Mark. Let me see. Do I have live chat on? Yeah, good. We got a real Super Famicom, dude. We're playing on a CRT. What other streamer do you know that streams off of a real CRT, dude? Yeah, it is Expandong. The real Super Family computer. And we got an EverDrive too, and we're playing on a real cartridge. Although we could, I also have an EverDrive, so we can play whatever we want. It's gonna be sick. Hi, kinda Sam. Aren't you supposed to be asleep? Okay. Well, and who asked? Shiki. I am going in pretty much completely blind. I've heard some things. Basically, Sav's told me a couple things, and I've seen like a clip or two. But I'm pretty much going in completely blind. I'm going in 90% blind. I've basically never seen anything. Hey, at 10. Yeah, we're gonna play Bonk's Revenge soon. I got the PC engine now, dude. It's gonna be sick. Well, I guess... Yeah, I took a full detox, basically. So I guess... this is a 5-hour stream, and it's almost 1 a.m. where I live. So this will probably be... it'll probably take me at least a couple of streams to do this. Like I said, I want to stream earlier, starting tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I am reformed. Is the game volume loud? I don't remember how anything does, dude. I'm relapsing live on stream like Amber Lynn when she ate those those Chips Ahoy. I'm sorry, piece of peace. I'm working on it. Tomorrow we might stream at 11 p.m. on a weekday. On a work day. I'm sorry, Ed. You know what? I would usually say I would rather watch the Celtics in the finals, but I don't know. The Heat did take game 2, so. Let's surf it. I guess I didn't miss anything. I probably didn't need to go back. Yeah, and the Europeans love it, dude.
If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on youtube.com. With me, Stuttering Craig. You got a goal? Go get it.
Wait, his name's actually Stuttering Craig? I thought people were... Oh, wait, hold on. It's way too low. I thought people were talking shit about him and calling him Stuttering Craig. I didn't know that was his actual name.
And brought to you by you, the G2 community, at patreon.com/sidescrollers.
Alright, let me know if it's good
And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, thanks, Sarah. Have a good sleep, dude.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on youtube.com. What's
loud.
going on, everybody? Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. Side
Does he actually
Scrollers.
stutter?
Big show today. Big show today, huh?
It's kind
Hey,
of a
everybody,
cringe
great to see
intro,
you.
I agree.
Joining us, as always.
Hey, JC.
Not Travis Keys. Travis is going to be manning up on the chat today because we know the chat is going to be super busy. Blabs will also be hailing up on social media. So big ups to Blabs and big ups to Travis.
Big ups
for
to
doing
Blabs.
that. But joining us as always,
Hey, Dwight
Mr.
Race.
Freeze, the greatest gamer in the room. It's Adam Krigler. Hello, Adam.
I'm never gonna live that Mr. Freeze down, but I kind of like it actually.
That's alright.
I gotta learn all of Arnold's really cheesy
I don't think so,
puns
JC.
from that movie, so I can drop those periodically throughout the episodes.
I think that'd really endear you to all those who love the freezing aspect of you, for sure. So
I
see
can't
we
believe
have a-
I'm still freezing. Anyway,
we have an additional guest too. It looks like in your lap.
yeah, this is Osiris. He's hanging out. Say hi, buddy. He's like, no, I'm trying to chill. All right, he's
Hey,
chilling.
Redhead.
I think
Excellent.
he
Well,
wants
look,
a treat. Yeah, he's hanging.
before we get to our guest today, I want to let you guys know some things we have coming up on the show that I think are actually really, really important. And hopefully you guys will want to come back
Jasper,
for. I know
get
we got a
down
lot
from
of
there.
folks coming in today. Hopefully you guys want to hit the subscribe.
No, I
button
haven't seen the
and,
interview.
Join us because we are a show. We
I
go
can skip
every Monday through
the... I
Friday
wanted to
at
watch
9
all of it,
Central
but...
Standard Time. The whole idea of Side Scrollers, up the Cyborg joining us, and James Rolfe, the
Upcoming
angry video
guest.
game nerd, will be joining us here in the next couple
The
weeks. as
angry
well.
video
So you guys
game
will stick with
nerd.
me. We have Heart from Patreon.
The Angry Nerd, as
we are doing
DSP
info
likes to
on
call
the
him.
show, but it's quickly morphed into.
No, what
that.
did Jasper do?
You know, I've talked about how.
Hey, John.
I have this degree in journalism that I got 20 years ago, and
I don't
haven't
give a
used
fuck,
it. And there's a reason why I didn't go into that field. It's because it sucks. And talk about that all, diving in deep. And so I guess with all that said, let's get into this. I'm excited to bring on Dark Side Phil.
Oh, it's
Phil,
the
how are you?
guy.
Holy crap!
Can you turn it up a bit
Phil, the
more?
camera's
Yeah.
on now.
You guys actually did it. I'm on.
We
the
did
show.
what?
I'm on the
You
show.
did it.
I mean,
Wait,
you guys
is he
listen,
here?
listen. You guys.
I can't
Business
hear you.
degree
I
versus
can't hear you.
journalism degree.
Hello?
I'm just joking. I can hear you.
Oh.
Okay.
You
Nice.
guys have had a good run. You've been going for a month. I've watched every episode. It's a great show. However, you made the big mistake of having me on your show. As of today, March 16th, you guys are officially canceled. I'm sorry.
I might have to turn it
You
up.
can't cancel
DSP's
something that doesn't
audio
care to be
sucks ass.
canceled, and we don't really care to be canceled. You can't, you know. So
Just
We're
let me know how it
sponsored-
is.
We're
I'm trying
sponsored
to get
by
it right.
the people out there, so we're good. We're great.
Exactly. When you're not worrying about
Hey,
what
Ruben.
sponsor you're gonna freak out today because you accidentally said something in the wrong way, it's a lot of relief. You can just be honest with your audience, and that's something that I love about what I do on the internet.
well, let's get into this, man. I'm excited to have you on. I think this is going to be a really telling, hour, 2 hours, whatever it may be.
That was
3
5 hours, dude.
6 days, however long it may be. So I was told.
Yeah,
pretty
people
much
loved it.
after
They're not
after
canceled
we
at all.
announced this that you were coming on the show. I was told that you should not.
You know, it's funny because, like I said, I'm going in pretty much blind, but I know he got like butt fucked throughout the entire thing, so it is hilarious to see him come in so cocky. He thinks it's gonna be some more. It's gonna be like the quartering 2.0.
Come on, I was told not to interview you. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, considering the fact that the name of the show is, possibly the most hated guy on the internet, I don't think it's rocket science. People don't like me for various different reasons, and they come at me with so many accusations, so many crazy conspiracy theories, and I'm just a small-time guy trying to make content on the internet and make a living doing it and loving the interaction I have with my little audience. And every time that I address it, any of the stuff that they say about me, it's completely counterproductive. It
Has
doesn't
some
help anything,
immediate
it just
victim
exacerbates
segment.
worse. So why have me on a show when people feel like all I'm going to do is not answer the questions you're going to ask me, not provide any additional information to things I've already said? People think I'm just going to be here for a fluff piece or something. Like, you guys are going to kiss my butt for 2 hours.
Yeah, apparently that's
I don't
not what
think so.
happened.
I think this is an
Apparently got
opportunity
butt fucked.
for me to come on a show and be honest, transparent as much as I can. Again, I've already said this up front. I got to protect my family.
I have to
gotta
turn
protect my
Yoshi
business.
down.
I can't be
Phil's so
showing
fucking low,
ridiculous
dude.
personal information about any of that. But, at
But
the
then
same
the other
time,
guys are louder. Let's see.
the reason that I feel this interview will be different from what they're expecting is because I am going to be
Thanks,
an open
Sarah.
book. On my streams, I try to curtail the nonsense. My viewers are not there to hear me talk about my bankruptcy. They're not there to talk about accusations of spending $100,000 on a mobile game or how I groomed someone in the past.
It's not that it
ridiculous.
didn't happen. They're just not there to listen to it.
Gameplay. They want to see me play a video game or talk about news or something. And every time it brings up, oh God, he's doing it again. He's entertaining the trolls. Why is he doing it? So now, this interview will be an opportunity for me to finally open up about all these topics. Nothing is off the table. I've said this to the guys here. Ask me anything. I will address every single thing.
Can we know
Anyone
about
wants to
sex
ask
life
me.
with Cap?
I don't know how much I can talk about it. Again, there's some legal things going on and everything, but we'll talk.
Hey, simple
and
guy.
this will be the focal point from now on. You want answers to all the drama? Watch Side
Yeah.
Scrollers from March 16, 2023.
Okay.
Phil addressed it. And if
All
you
right,
don't
I'm
believe
excited.
him, that's okay. It's everyone's subjective ability to judge whether or not someone's being truthful or not, right? So you can't make someone believe you, but at least we'll have one situation where I sat down, I answered every question that you threw at me, and even if you don't ask certain questions, I'm probably going to bring up topics that I know people want answers to, so that way it's all out there, and then we can just move on. I don't want to have this crap on my content anymore. I just want to.
Yeah, no
move on
one
my
talks
community
about this
and
stuff
redecide
anymore
what
ever
these
since
topics say, and I'm
the
hoping that some closure will come on.
interview.
So
Fair.
nothing's off the table today. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Third out of the third says, do you like to land face first in bushes? Depends.
Hey, Pharaohs.
It depends on if it's...
Hey, be awesome.
I'm not going to say that. There's only one bush I would land in currently, that's for sure. There's only one bush I would land in. Because I'm a faithful guy. Let's put it that way.
You guys want to hear that one again?
Third out of the third says, do you like to land face first in bushes? Depends.
It costs
It
me.
depends on if it's... I'm not going to say that. There's only one bush I would land in currently, that's for sure. There's only one bush I would land in. 'Cause
I'm a faithful guy.
Let's put it that way.
Same here, Phil.
Which is great.
Hey, Big Green. I heard you're a troll.
I don't-
Hey, Zion.
Okay. I
Good to see you,
feel
dude.
I feel good about that, and I think that's one of the things that, once again, there's going to be things that we're going to talk about that I feel is, as long as you're honest, and we're going to push you on things, Phil. You need to understand that we're going to push you, and I think, you know, the one thing I said over and over again is I feel that I'm a fair interviewer to myself, fair interview to the person I'm interviewing, and fair to the audience, and that's one thing to keep in mind as we go along here. So, I guess
Could I very briefly just make one statement before
Sure.
we begin?
Rusty, dude.
I want to publicly apologize to you guys, to your other hosts, to the G2s, and anyone else who likes side scrollers, because for the past 2 weeks, you guys have seen your content derailed because of me. I never intended for that. I kind of was worried it would
Oh my
happen,
God.
and it happened. I don't control this black cloud that follows me around the internet as much as I try, but I still feel bad about it. It's not your fault.
God, he just
that
tries to be
because you
positive
decided
all
to
the
have me on your
time.
show as a regular guest, that now you had to put up with 2 weeks of drama and nonsense. I'm hoping this, again, will put some closure to it as well. It's not just about me. It's about you guys also being
No,
able
for
to say,
crying out
okay, we
loud.
did it. We had the interview. And
Absolutely,
can we get
yeah.
back to normality? I love your show. I am a longtime fan of Screw Attack. I used to watch everything you guys were putting out in the mid-2000s before YouTube was even prominent. I've watched every episode of your show since you rebooted it. I'm so upset that this has become about me somehow, and I'm done with it. Like, that's why I want to apologize to everyone. Never intended, and I hope that we can move on from it today.
So, Phil, you just killed our show by giving us an endorsement. Thanks, man.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
Oh, you're horrible. You guys suck. I hate you.
You used to be a
you're gonna
massive
ask me
fan,
terrible
dude.
questions today. I really hate you guys.
All right. Well, let's get into some of these terrible questions, and I think this is something that I've heard.
Yeah, he doesn't watch them anymore, though.
The questions that I'm going to ask today, they're a good mix of questions that have been on the internet. They've been questions that I want to know. There's questions that some
Come
of your
on,
biggest detractors have asked me to ask you. So they're, and I think that's important. I want to get all sides of this. So I think a great starting point for here is when you're streaming, Phil, who is streaming? Is it Phil or Darkside Phil?
Well, he's never played a character.
Well, it
That's what I
depends
heard.
on. Okay, it depends on what I'm streaming. It also depends on what time period you're talking about. Today, you're pretty much almost getting 100% the real me. Of course, every once in a while, it's funny to over dramatize something that's going on. I have a segment on my podcast called "Old Man Yells at Cloud," where, you know, I really ham it up if it's a dumb topic I'm talking about, and I over dramatize like I'm so concerned about it, or if I'm playing a game that really is, I'm dying a lot, or I'm
Oh, yeah,
playing an
he
online
used to play a
fighting game,
character. Not
I'll
anymore, though.
emphasize the fact that, oh, it's unfair, it's bullshit, you know, I'll always ham it up. But that's kind of my shtick. That's always been kind of my shtick, and I think my actual
just his
fans
thing.
know that. But, you know, the internet wants to pretend like otherwise. As if you have never watched my content over the past 15 years that I've been a content creator on the internet, you would have seen this is kind of the shtick that I do in certain situations. But today, I am so different than how I used to be. You know, when you've made content for 15 years, you go through several different stages and evolutions. And, you know, when I started on YouTube way back when, it was all about being a character. It was about over-exaggerating. It was about being dramatic. It was about saying the risque thing that's going to get people talking. What did Darkside Phil say?
Didn't he
in his
brand
playthrough
himself
today? Are
as
you
the
kidding me?
honest
I
guy
can't believe he said
back
that.
then?
But what happens is over time things change, you know, and there was really, how can I say, almost like an epiphany to me. In 2017, a lot of different things changed in my life. I had a lot of things that kind of rebooted. And business-wise, one of the things that rebooted was I went from being someone who focused on on-demand content, you know, videos that you would digest and watch offline, versus being an interactive online streamer. And when I became an interactive online streamer, I realized, wow, wait a minute. I've been doing this wrong the whole time, because, like, for, you know, 8+ years, I've just been talking
cider.
to a camera and pretending like I'm the only one in the room. I have an audience live watching me. What the hell am I doing? I'm ignoring them. And once I started having an
Good to see
interactive
you.
conversation with my audience, it became so much better. This social experience of having meaningful conversations, seeing their live.
Yeah, the
reactions to
meaningful
things I'm doing on
conversations of
stream.
fucking
And
Derek
so
in the chat.
I realized I don't have to be a character anymore.
He doesn't have to be a
me.
character. He can
I
talk to
just
Derek
people
now.
and be honest about my feelings about
Derek can
games
tell
or
you
whatever.
Pokemon
And
facts all
again,
day.
yes, every once in a while there's an exaggeration, absolutely, but that's part of the fun of it all. You know, we're not all just here to be Mr. Serious all day. How boring would that be? But at the same time, yeah, today I would say I'm a lot more laid back of a person, and I'm a lot more honest and transparent with my audience, with the discussions we have. Although every once in a while, yes, there's obviously everyone wants to every once in a while ham it up a bit,
and Jade
joke a little bit to get a little laugh or a little rise. But for the most part, I would say what you see today in my content is more authentic than it used to be.
So Dark Side Phil is your hamming it up, and
I'm so rested.
right now you're just Phil.
Yes and no. Again, I mean, it's cool to be.
Well,
able to
what is it? Like,
well,
you know, like
Has
like
bubble
what
gums.
does it when you say there are times that I'm over the top? Like,
Oh
give me an
my
example of what that means. What does it mean when you say, well, I'm over the top, and why would you if the internet has changed, right? There was a point. You are correct in saying that.
Yeah,
Back in the
I was
early
talking about that.
2000s, into the when you kind of rose to prominence, there was you took your personality and you put in a little. It would exponentially make it a little more over the top. But the internet has changed to authenticity. People want to get to know, and I don't disagree with you there. But when you mix up, and it's almost like you're sending mixed signals to your audience, and most people. They haven't watched you for 15 years.
I don't agree.
The idea of saying like, "Hey, I've been on the internet for 15
guy.
years. You should know how I act." But the reality is that most people see you through clips, through Twitter or YouTube, and they don't know you. So regardless of how long you've been on the internet, I mean, I've been doing this forever, and the vast majority of people watching right now have no idea who I am.
How can you know his recent streams?
You
if
treat
don't
every
go back to
viewer
the
like
beginning?
a potential new viewer. So I don't know, kind of walk me through that, because I do think that's kind of like provide me with an example of what DSP is versus Phil.
Sure. Right now I'm playing a game. It's called Wolong Fallen Dynasty. All right. It's one of these games made by Team Ninja, not FromSoft, but it's very much meant to be like a From Software style game, like Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Elden Ring. It's ultra challenging. Things are going to kill you with 1 to 2 hits, right? In my opinion, this is my opinion, it's not very good. A lot of people disagree with me. They love this game. Okay. I don't like it. I think that it's a cheap knockoff. I feel like it's very wonky. It's not polished. I will say those things in my content. But in the heat of the moment, if I'm running through a stage and I get, instant kill, cheap death, I freak out. Oh, you son of a bitch, this game sucks ass. It's the worst game ever. The game devs don't know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. That's the dark side Phil.
That's the dark side Phil.
Kind of coming through. I could just sit here and say nothing.
That's just a persona,
like,
dude.
That sucked that I died. People don't really tune in for that. In fact, the reason people are watching me play that game is because they want to see that over-the-top reaction. So I'll ham it up every once in a while.
Yeah, we love to see a character.
I don't hate the game. I don't hate the game devs. Of course I
Hey,
don't.
just...
they tried to make a good game. I think it's decent. I don't think it's great.
Yeah, he's honest, but he's also a character.
Over the top every once in a while. Now, just
but
like you
but
say,
is that just something that Phil would do also?
Right.
Well, Phil would do that, but Phil wouldn't be like, for example, okay, the game killed me. It's a cheap death. Do you really think that I'm that upset about it? It's a game. It's a big deal. Oh,
everyone gets triggered by games. I mean,
I get triggered exactly, and I allow that to flow freely. A lot of people put a filter over what they say and do when they put out their content. Why? Because they're trying to be marketable, right? They're trying to say, I want that sponsor. I want that opportunity. I have never.
I'm so glad Phil gets to be the honest guy.
That's why a lot of people don't like me, because they don't want truthful reactions. They want Mr. Marketable.
Hey, Toxic
Mr.
Carl
Smiley.
Gaming.
And when I say things like, this game I really don't like because this is unfair, do you think that game company's happy about it? Of course not. But
but Phil, hold on. Like, do you think that do you think that those game companies are like looking to establish a relationship with like they're not. I mean, the reality is that these companies are looking for streamers who stream to 5,000, 10,000 people. Correct. as opposed to a couple hundred. And
that's right.
Like whether it's you saying or DSP saying it, I think that if people were watching to see those over the top reactions, I think they were watching for that a decade ago, and I really mean that, right? So look, I had a character named Evil Craig.
I haven't played this game in a
Evil Craig
year.
was meant to be the essence of just the internet troll, right? I did it for 10 episodes, 12 episodes, whatever it may be. And I stopped doing it because I realized that that I was growing an audience of people that were negative and trolls, right? And it's funny. It was funny, and it was so silly. But by you starting with the idea of saying like, look, I'm going to overreact big. I think there's two prongs to this question. Number one, if people were really watching to see your over the top reactions, don't you think they'd be making clips of that instead of other clips that they were making, and those would be going viral? And number two, if you're really not enjoying the game, why play it? Why play it in the first place?
That's a great question. That's something that's actually been.
But start with number one though. Start with number one. Like, why if people were watching to see your over the top angry reactions, don't you think they'd be clipping those as opposed to clipping other things?
In truth, yes. I don't know what they clip because I have so much stuff on the internet about me that I don't really watch a lot of it. I hear it secondhand from my viewers or in a chat or whatever. No, I understand what you're saying totally. Case in point with Wolong, there's totally some people who are turned off by this playthrough, and they're like, I don't want to watch Phil play it because he's going to get angry and he's going to turn into this rage ball that we don't like watching. We like seeing the real Phil.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
The same time,
Let's play.
there are people who I've told my audience, I don't like this game. I would like to move on. This kind of does meld into the second half of your question as well. I've been very transparent with my audience about this game. So I don't like it. I feel like if I'm going to play a FromSoft game, why don't we just do a second run of Elden Ring, a new game plus run? And a lot of people are down for that. And others are like, no, Phil, we like seeing you rage. This has been a part of your shtick for 15 years. This is a lot of the reason why we tune in. I'm seeing more.
It was Dark Side Craig asking.
Streams, and I'm getting more
game over
support on my Wolong streams
game.
because they want to see that rage come out of me, as opposed to me playing a bunch of games where I'm more laid back and relaxed and chill. I have a bunch of those in my rotation. That's my core fan base will show up for that and support it, but you will always get a different group of people. That really, I feel, is one of the reasons why I'm still here 15 years later. I have different audiences. I have one audience that'll come and watch me be the real Phil, the relaxed Phil. I just sit back, I'm chilling, I'm playing a game. I'm not going to rage. The game's, not really too challenging, right? I'm playing Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion right now. That's exactly what that playthrough is. It's relaxing, right? But then when I play Wolong, now it's time for that old Dark Side Phil to come back out.
Now it's time for the character to come out.
It's funny because you'll watch one of my streams, you'll say, well, Phil gets around 200 to 400 viewers a stream, okay? But in reality, when you look at my metrics on YouTube or my analytics, actually, those are like thousands of different people. One stream gets 200 viewers, the next stream gets 300. Those are 500 different people because people are coming for different kinds of content. When you've been around as long as me, you realize you get people from all over the world and for different reasons. If I were to,
but are they sticking? Are they staying though? Because if you have 500 people come in and they're just kind of coming out, that's actually bad for the algorithm. That's bad. You want people to stay and subscribe, and you have these new people coming in because they want to see a new game, not necessarily because they want to see you, right? They're interested in the game, not necessarily you. If you're playing a game that's topical or new or something along those lines.
Again, yes and no. I would say back in the day that was the case. Like new releases, I would get ginormous spikes in attendance because I actually used to have DSP Gaming, which is my gaming channel, used to be one of the more prominent gaming channels for Let's Players on YouTube over a decade ago. I was in the algorithm. I play a new game, I would see my attendance double, triple, just because I'm playing a new game. I don't get that anymore. It's been, and there's some of the things we'll probably talk about today. One of the reasons was why that happened. Trolling activities, false copyright strikes,
trolling
activities, my channel out of the algorithm. So today it doesn't really matter what I play.
Honestly, yeah, Yoshi's Island is a meme
play
game.
And I'll get a little bit of a spike, but as for audience retention, it really depends on what I'm playing and who's there for what. There's some people that don't care what I play. I could sit here and play.
Right, you got your hardcore. You got your hardcore. You can play Tiddlywinks.
You got the hardcore
right?
Exactly.
Dark Side Phil.
I will get an increase when
Dark
I play
Side Phil
a
gaming
rage-inducing
fans.
game. Or a multiplayer
terrifying
game,
thing to be.
An element of challenge where I can either persevere or I can really fail miserably against people online in a competitive setting. People like that, and that's the variety that I bring in. But
hardcore, Jade
I
and
understand
Derek.
what you're saying. It would be great if maybe I was just one kind of content, but I found in the 15 years playing kind of both sides, it gets you different audiences, and it's worked for me. At least that's what I feel is one of the keys to my longevity is tomorrow, if they never made another FromSoft game, I'd be okay because I still play everything else.
I would not be okay with that.
I wouldn't be okay with that either. I love those games too. As much as I rage at them and I'll be angry in the moment, I absolutely appreciate and love them for what they are.
And
Well,
hate
clearly you just need
86
to get good. I'm just,
Exactly. I'm a terrible player. Everyone knows this.
Well, let's talk about something real quick. So you early on had this perception of the king of hate. That was something that you marketed, you created, or whatever, right? Whatever it is, that was your
Yeah,
thing,
because
the
he
king
used
of hate.
the
You had
hate against him to
kingofhate.com and all that
motivate him.
stuff. And now you're Phil, right? But do you feel that that still follows you around? This idea of built around, like, look, James Rolfe, angry
Yeah,
video
there is
gamer.
no
He's
hate
clearly
army.
a character. People know that there's the angry video
Hate army
gamer,
doesn't
and then there's
exist,
the
dude.
character. But your perception is that there's this hate around you, this negativity around you, right? Do you think that has followed you to the point to where, regardless of if they're coming to watch you, Phil, or DSP, that is been a negative detractor for you? The whole hate moniker.
Absolutely. And of course, I guess this would be a good time to talk about what the moniker means, because a lot of people think the king of hate means
I
that
do
means
be
that Phil's
awesome
just
one.
a hateful person towards games and game developers and everything else. He's just going to rage on his stream and just hate everyone. And that's never what it was. Anyone who does 5 seconds of research to what does the king of hate mean? I've answered this question so many times in the 15 years I've been a content creator, but no one wants to hear the answer. The answer is, I used to be a competitive Street Fighter player back in the 2000s, okay? And
And he used
back
to
then,
hate
it was
against
a
him.
really weird situation because Street Fighter wasn't big like it is today. Street Fighter was on the downturn. There were no new fighting games out. So the way to get attention on the competitive Street Fighter community was building up drama. So
Right.
I would go online and I would be the biggest internet troll to everyone in the Street Fighter community. I would make fun of them. I would just destroy them online. And everyone
Okay,
knew
so
Phil's like the biggest
let's
internet troll.
fast forward, right? This has been well established. This is a decade ago. Let's talk about today, though. Like, do you feel
Okay.
that this has followed you around? Do you feel that people do you think that the king of hate moniker is still
Yeah,
relevant?
top haters.
Today it is not. It was because when I started, the meaning behind it is when people hate on you, you don't use that to become
Tophaters.com.
a victim. You don't use that to
My favorite
crawl
website.
into a ball and hide in your corner and I'm defeated. People don't like me anymore, so I quit. Instead, you use that as a way to motivate yourself to do better. For example, when people say you're never going to beat this game because it's so tough. You say I can't do it. You're hating on me. Say I'm a bad gamer. I'm going to beat that game just because you said I couldn't. Right?
Wow.
You say I'm a bad content creator. I'm going to fail. No, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to use that hate around me and I'm going to be the king of it. I'm going to motivate myself with all that hate to be a successful person. This is a mantra I've used in my entire life to continue on and be successful. And that's why I have so many haters on the internet. I use that to fuel myself every day to come back and say, no, I'm going to put out
Wow, what a
great,
gamer,
meaningful stream
dude.
for people, regardless of what these idiots
Oh,
say on
bad.
the internet about me. But it follows me. You're absolutely right, because people say the king of hate is not that Phil owns the hate against him and motivates himself. They say he's a hateful person.
You know what, Ed?
Take a
Because
look
you
at
said
thing
that,
he
I'm
said
gonna
10,
beat
15
Yoshi's
years ago,
Island.
that racial joke he made, that ridiculous sexual comment he made.
That racial joke from,
that's what the king of hate is. And then they'll say
The racial joke from 15 years ago. What about when he talked about slavery? He talked about that black girl being sold into slavery, or when the black lady walking. There's a black lady walking.
look,
Steal
here's
the black
our
pack.
website, thekingofhate.com, and then they'll reference that stuff and say that I'm a bigot, or I'm a racist, or I'm a sexist.
She
They
stole
say
the
it to
black
this
pack.
day. They're probably saying it right now in chat. And
Okay.
it's not true.
Well, then let's. I wasn't planning on talking this till later. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead, Adam.
When you climb to the top of like the hate mountain and claim to be the king of hate, don't you think it's almost inviting people to try to take you down? You said that you made that your thing in the Street Fighter world, and then as time went on in the YouTube realm, that's what you were, I guess, made your position on the internet known. You're the king of hate. So like,
I'm the king
you
of
could
hate,
almost
bitch. I'm
expect
the
people
king
to
of
come
hate.
back at you
I'm
and
the
try
king
to
of hate, bitch. I'm the
use
king
that
of hate.
same kind of vibe. And I've seen plenty of clips of random shit throughout the past couple weeks, because I didn't know who you were, right? So I'm still kind of new to this YouTube
DSP
realm.
was the
And
top Let's
I've
Player
seen-
back in the day. How can
I've
you not
seen
know
the
who he
ways
was?
sometimes that and of course this is what people share, right? So what I've seen is you kind of letting it get the best of you in some cases, where you're letting that almost get under your skin, where if you want to be that person on the internet, you kind of have to be able to take it as well. I just wanted to point that out. It's almost like you kind of asked for it.
Well, it sounds
by
like this guy
being
has
the
no
king of
idea what the
hate
fuck
and
he's
making
talking
that your
about.
thing. it kind of was like, all right, well, if I'm gonna dish it, I got to be able to take it as well.
I 100% agree with you, Adam. Today, but I've been on YouTube for 15 years, and when I started on YouTube, there were no successful.
That's such a good sound. Thank you so much, BlackMate666, for the $2 super chat. Hate Mountain is actually Splashman. I agree. I 100% agree. I'm glad they're tearing that shit down.
Making a full living doing it the way that
only Nazis railed that.
I'm almost kind of like a history lesson.
15
Look at what
years.
Phil has done, and don't do it. Right? Look at all the mistakes Phil just made in the last 15 years. And if you want to be someone who makes gameplay content on YouTube, don't do what that guy did, because he screwed up. You know, when I started 15 years ago, I was like, I'm just going to
There's no handbook for what he did, dude.
There, why not do it on YouTube? I wasn't doing it for a living. It was my hobby. I had a 9-to-5 job, and this was something I came home and did 2-3 hours a night. I would pump out some gameplay. I never took it seriously. I never thought it would be my job or anything. So I was the king of, hey, I just rolled that moniker over to YouTube. Now, fast forward 2.5 years after.
I don't know the mango ice cream thing yet.
Oh crap! What am I gonna do? Can I monetize my YouTube presence?
Right.
I guess I can. But now I'm
Where?
the king of hate.
Where you
Everyone
want me to
knows
jump?
me as the king of hate for 2.5 years. This is my shtick. This is my moniker. What do? You know, how do you erase the past that you've already established? And that's what you're known for. And so it's been rough. It's been rough. I'll tell you this. 2 years ago, well, excuse me, about 1.5 years ago, I had an
I should have done that.
I have to move on from my past in any way that I can. I have to try to get rid of this moniker. This is
you're
something
smart.
that people were actively using to weaponize against me. They were going to businesses that I was associated with and telling them, you have a bigot on your website. Do you know that? Look at all these things that you did. And they would link to things, little one-off jokes from 15 years ago.
All right, I got every single one.
Something I did today. And they would say, he's the king of hate. So I said, I have to stop this. I have to get rid of the website, rebrand myself. And now that's why I do not live by that mantra anymore. I don't even mention it. You know,
so, but what have you done? What have you done, Phil, to change the perception of that? What have you changed the look of your streams? Have you changed your production value? Did you take a break?
That's so-called
Did you say, look, I'm leaving and I'm going to come
much.
back, but I need time to kind of rethink this. Like, did you, because you're still going under it's still the same channel, still DSP, still Darkside Phil.
Thanks, be awesome one.
What have you done to change the perception of that? I mean, it's been a consistent line the entire time of Phil. So what have you done to change that? Because it sounds like you're saying, well, you know, woe is me, but ultimately it comes down to your actions.
Yeah, and if you were to watch my content,
this guy's being extremely negative. He's not like the quartering at all, which I hate.
2 years ago, and you were to watch my content today,
Quartering had the best DSP interview ever.
Like, for example, look how everything looks behind me right now, right? Up until
whoa, dude, he has a bunch of shit behind him.
I'll admit that.
How much of this stuff did he buy recently? I know the Pac-Man light maybe he brought recently, but the fucking Punch-Out picture, he's had that for like 20 years. Wow, look how much I've changed. I have a fucking Punch-Out picture, pixel art picture that I've had since like 2010. He's probably had that Mario one since the same time. While he's in a gaming chair instead of a love seat. Wow, he's sitting on a different piece of furniture. That's fucking amazing. He's changed so much.
You know, but you know, it's because I don't have the know-how. I don't, you know, I'm very much crowdfunded by my viewers and fans, and it's they who contribute.
Yeah, he laid out a sheet.
In this last 1.5 years, there's been kind of a
hey, lost in
reinvigoration.
Technicolor.
Let's change everything I'm doing. Let me listen to feedback. Just in the last year, I started doing React content. I was the biggest critic of React content. I crapped on it constantly, saying it was terrible content.
Sun clearance.
It's the lowest form of content on the internet. I hated it. And then I started listening to my viewers. They're like, Phil, why are you so ignorant about this stuff? You know, you got to start to open up and be a more laid-back guy about all this crap. If you don't want to be the king of hate, you got to listen. And I started listening. I started doing different kinds of content. I changed my setup. I'm trying to change the perception around me. But the problem is, it wouldn't matter if I went away for 2 months and rebooted my channel and renamed it or whatever. There is such an overwhelming stigma against me on the internet that it wouldn't work. These trolls would just follow me no matter where I go, what I do, no matter how much I change.
Yeah, I'd follow
him
to
to
kick.
It, or they pretend like the change hasn't happened so that they can keep rolling on with their hate trains. And, you know, it sucks. I would love to do a full reboot and rename DSP Gaming. It wouldn't matter. Within a day. That's DSP Gaming.
You guys like that alert? Me and Sav are going to do an Amber Lynn stream one day in the future. Thank you, Big Green, for the $2 super chat. Know any viral DSP clips? I have seen a few going around on TikTok. That's
Don't
all
be
I'll say.
fooled. It's the same guy.
Oh,
You know,
fuck.
So
Well-
I have tried to change
Oh,
and,
never
and
mind.
do
We're
better
good.
things and make more laid back content. You watch my content today, way less of that.
It's
rage
so
kind of
laid
stuff.
back,
Way
dude.
more chill content, interactive stuff, meaningful content with my viewers. I feel, but the stigma remains.
Well, let's talk about something real quick that can add to that stigma, right? And I think this is important. You said the light bulb went off, about
That
a year
Zelda
ago. You got to
gameplay is
change. You
atrocious.
changed your background and stuff. But I want to bring up, like, there's still jokes that are made that that don't necessarily,
Jokes super
like,
crazy.
they don't fit today. And I want to play one for you really quick.
Oh,
just kind
this
of
is
get
great.
your reaction to
He
this.
brought
okay?
the.
So
Oh, let's
this
go.
here
this
we go.
is yeah. So you know where
Let's
this is
go.
going, and I want to watch this so we all understand what's going on here.
Oh no. This is toxic.
All right, boys, prepare the slave trade. We're selling her right off for profit.
Time to send her off for profit. Dude, this is so out of
Put
context.
the kid in the vehicle. Stay with her.
Right? She's too valuable to escape. Worth lots of money.
Okay.
Fucked up.
Yeah. So
Dude, I think he's pissed.
so
he
what's
didn't
going
know
on
they
there,
were gonna
man?
bring
Like,
out the videos.
Let's talk about that. Like, how does that when you
That's too
see
far.
that?
Oh,
When you see that, how does that make you feel? What are you thinking? Do you regret that saying that? Like, is that edgy humor?
No.
well, first of all,
It's
I have
not-
an
it's
honest
not
question
because
for
she's
you
black,
guys.
dude.
You've now seen it. I don't know if Adam has ever seen that clip before. Okay.
No, I
Is that the
haven't.
first time? Okay. What
Adam's
do you
pissed,
think
dude.
the joke was there? I'm just curious. What do you think I was trying to joke about?
That you're selling that girl to the slave trade.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like, and that's pretty fucked up.
Okay. Now, from what reference do you think? How can I say this? Okay, I'll
Hey, Master
approach it
Doctor.
from the detractor perspective. Okay.
Okay.
From the
I'm
detractor
ready.
perspective.
No,
the
I want to
joke-
hear your perspective of what you
Yeah.
meant.
Right.
No,
yeah,
let's talk
like,
about the
we'll do both.
detractor.
It's
We'll do
it's
both.
pretty obvious what the detractors mean. Like for me, that would have put me on the detractor side because it sounds like you were making
What?
a joke about selling that little girl to the slave trade.
Adam,
How is
go
it
fuck
not
yourself,
that?
dude.
Like, what did you mean?
Oh no,
that
that's absolutely that's the joke. But
Fuck
there's
you,
a
Adam.
difference between saying that's
Oh.
okay and it's funny or the ridiculousness of the situation. See, you just saw that clip completely out of context, correct? You don't know what's going on in the game right
Yeah,
now.
we have no
Okay,
idea
well,
what's
explain
going on in the game.
context then.
That sheriff is a corrupt sheriff. He is actually orchestrating a situation to try to murder people inside a building to protect his secrets. He's like a dark guy who controls the whole town. And no one knows this. Everyone thinks the sheriff's a squeaky clean guy.
So Phil's been using this for as long as I've been watching him. The out of context bit. Is this what he means by context? Like the literal context of the game? Like the sheriff's a bad dude. That's why I joked about the slavery thing.
Guy.
This must
So
be what he
this is
means
being
every time he
revealed
says
throughout
that.
the plot of the game. He's a scumbag, right? So the joke is this guy's such a scumbag. He's saying to the dad, "I'm going to save your daughter. Give me your daughter. Let's take him in and rescue her." But in reality, he's such a scumbag. He'd probably do something like that. He'd
Wow.
probably, traffic people. That's the joke. Now, is it a joke that's acceptable by today's standards? By 80% of people, probably not.
He made it like a year
I
ago or
believe-
2 years
Do you
ago.
think that's a joke? Like, do you think that's a joke acceptable by any standards?
Hey, player friend.
I don't.
Even a decade ago.
Yeah, I didn't know
Right.
she was black either
Three
until you guys
decades ago.
pointed it out.
And
I
and
think-
it's like, I just want to hear your thoughts on that, because I think there's edgy content, then there's inappropriate content, and
I think-
we've all been guilty of edgy content.
Yeah, expand dong. That's exactly what I was kind of trying to get at. I don't think I got at it, but yeah, there's no, as far as I remember, there's no like slavery or trafficking in the game. He just came out with that. So how does the context that the sheriff's a bad guy like change anything about that joke?
Before, so
I think it's dark humor. It's definitely
It's dark side humor.
skirting the risque. Okay, not to say that I've heard much worse, obviously, from other people, but that doesn't make it okay for me to do it. I know that.
Expand dong.
And there's
well,
things-
especially with what's following you around, your reputation, right? Do you think that if the light truly went off in your head to say like I got to change, don't you think it would be like, well, maybe I should bite my tongue on this one. I may be thinking it, but how about I bite my tongue on this?
Yes, I 100% agree with you, and it's a working process.
I agree
it's
with you.
Something that has to happen naturally over time. It's not something that can be a switch that's flipped because, again, I was someone who's done this for 15 years back in the day. That's what people came to watch.
People
That's
loved
the
it, dude.
content they wanted from me.
They
That's what
loved
got
it.
me popular on YouTube. That kind of ridiculous, unacceptable, over-the-top, dark humor joke. Okay.
Midnight's outside.
Today, it's not acceptable.
in the
I know
living
that.
room.
But the thing is, those jokes still click in my head. I absolutely should have not done that joke. I will tell you that right now, 1,000,000%. But it's a working process. And here's where
It's
you
a
have
working
to have
process.
some kind of an air of fairness, or at least you have to see the big picture.
Okay,
All
great.
right. I've been doing this
big
for
picture.
15 years.
The
I've
big
been doing it
pictures, I've
full-time
been
for a
doing that for
job
15
since
years.
2011. I do it 6 days a week full time. 6 days a week I'm here full time streaming. I have over 100,000 videos on the internet. Okay, people will always find something that moment of weakness, that stupid thing that I said. I know, stupid Phil. Why the hell did I make that joke? But once it's out there, and all you can do is apologize for it, say you're going to do better, and try not to do it, and move on. Now, there's a reason why I'm on this show today. Okay, this is what, March 16, 2023, and you had to show a clip, one random clip from last summer. You didn't show something I did in the last week, the last month. You showed something from the one moment of weakness. Whenever I do something stupid on the internet, it gets hyper analyzed, looked in with a microscope.
7 months
and
ago.
Blown away. This is what Dark Side Phil is. Have you watched the last 5 years of content I've put out? There's probably, okay, yes, I'm a human. I make errors, absolutely, and I'm stupid, and I do dumb stuff when I get over emotional. This is not the norm.
Well, what made him over emotional? He was so pissed that the sheriff was a piece of shit that he's got too emotional, dude.
On my streams. People see that clip out of context, like you guys just did.
It's out of
And if
context.
all you knew of Dark Side,
you have to know the
am
full.
super wet.
You have to know the full story of the game, or else it's out of context. Thank you, Black Mage again. YouTube demographic was confirmed Klansman. You know what? I agree with you. Thank you, Black Mage.
Phil was that joke.
Appreciate it.
You would hate my guts. You'd be like, what a scumbag. He made a joke about child trafficking. What kind of a horrible person thinks child trafficking is funny? When you watch it in context, it's not as bad, but it's still bad. But
His argument is always that he's
the
been doing it
context
for
that you
so
explained
long,
didn't
so it
make
doesn't
any better,
matter.
I'll be honest.
that's fine. I agree.
Because
that's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm not sure which character you're even
Just the character
portraying. So
like
you
fucking
were you
traffic.
acting as the sheriff in that
Yes,
situation?
that's why I did. That's why I did like the accent. Yes.
No, she was in the
I
shower.
don't know.
subject.
I think that like in a situation like that, like we live in a society now where like, look, I
is that the
understand
fucking
that
Joker
going into this interview that literally every second of this is going to be analyzed, and Adam understands that, and you understand that, right? But and literally everything you say, there's a camera on you at all times, especially when you're a live streamer, And I mean, for somebody who does this for a living, I just feel like you have to be able to bite your tongue at sometimes, and you need to know
my
better.
God,
You
fuck
said it
this.
yourself. The switch was flipped, and I understand that. I totally
live
understand.
in a
I am very
society,
forgiving
dude.
of mistakes, right? But when there's a pattern of these things that go back over the course of time, like it's no longer a mistake. It's a it's a continuation.
I
so-
disagree.
I don't know. I think, look, if you're saying that I'm also a big believer in taking people at their word, right? Up until their actions show different. So you're saying that over the course of since that joke, you've been pretty squeaky clean, and you haven't made inappropriate
I
jokes.
really hope
like
he
that,
pulls
that
out
are
like another
edgy,
clip
I
from.
guess.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't want to say that because I'm here 6 days a week full time. That's a lot of my life. And I guarantee you, if I say, man, yeah, that was it, Craig, that's all I remember.
Guys, I haven't touched this
Immediately
game
there'll be
in
other
a
examples tossed
year.
out right now, they'll find it, right?
I understand.
And that's the problem is
I
when you are 100% on the internet at all times with the amount.
So DSP's argument is that he hasn't made a joke. He's been squeaky clean since that joke. But then you ask him about it. Oh, so we can't find any more clips like that. Well, I don't know. I can't really say that.
Content I put out on the internet, they will always find it.
Guys watch so much content, dude.
I am actively trying to change. What I will say is this: you would be challenged in the last maybe 2-3 years to really find a running pattern of me doing really bad jokes like that. Okay, maybe you'll find a few. I'm definitely a flawed individual, but
No,
you're not gonna
fuck
find it as
this.
like you wouldn't say,
Fuck.
oh, here's 47 times within a year that Phil did that. I know for a fact he's a scumbag, right? You'll find one time here, one time here, one time here, and then they
Oh,
blow it
Phil.
up on the internet.
You just gave so many different people a reason to do
Oh, yeah.
exactly that.
Oh, they will. I know that, but the thing is, they do it anyway. It doesn't matter what I say or do. This is what they do. So
Now you said that the switch in your brain, was off, so that you made that joke. Like, do you have it in there that it's like thinking, like, when you said that you're like, maybe
that was
that
a
too
character I
much,
was playing.
or
Hey,
you were just
Titanium
free flowing,
Tractor.
and that's just kind of you.
let me put it this way: if I'm streaming and a joke pops into my head, and I feel, oh man, that's probably too much. Today, I usually will not say it. Usually, it would be maybe an extenuating circumstance, or just for a second, a momentary lapse. I feel like what that was a momentary lapse because I've done it for so long. I get this weird observational humor in my head, and my brain is going a million miles a minute. Here's a joke, here's a joke, here's a joke, here's a joke, right?
But do you think
Yeah,
that's
he's constantly
observational
telling
humor
jokes.
though? Like that's I don't like it's I don't know. Like I'm not one to like. There are people who make like there are comedians who make jokes and they're edgy and such like that. I guess. Do you fancy yourself as a comedian? Like because you're telling us that people come to your streams to watch you, rage react to streams and things like that. I don't necessarily, and I don't know. I'm asking, and I think this is probably a better question for your fans. Are they coming to watch for those edgy jokes?
Phil should have just said, "Wow, you guys are a bunch of pussies. You guys don't like my joke about song this black girl into slavery. Well, a bunch of pussies. He should have at least said that.
Are they coming to watch you rage? Because
It says he's getting destroyed on here.
I don't know, man. It doesn't fit. That's
I
a
agree
really.
with you. I agree. I actually agree with you today. I should not have made that joke. I know that. That today, you're
Now just own it,
100%
Bill.
correct. 15 years ago, even 10 years ago, it was a different climate on YouTube, and people were looking for that. That's who I was, and now I'm
So
not.
this was last year, you said?
That was
Yeah.
probably.
Oh
summer last
my-
year. Yeah.
So because it just
Dude.
feels like a big leap from going
It's the controller. I'm not kidding. It's the controller. Let me see if I have another controller around here.
from a sheriff who is like trying to kill people to seeing a little black girl and thinking a slave trade. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no! You said it. Now you said it.
Oh,
Seeing a big leap.
dude, Phil was just fucking waiting for that, wasn't he? He was just waiting for them to mention that it was a black girl, and he was finally gonna come up with "You're the racist." Actually, I didn't even know she was black. I had no idea that girl was black, dude.
From going from a sheriff
He was
who
fucking
is like trying
waiting
to
for
kill people
that.
to seeing a little black girl and thinking a slave trade. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no! Now you said
Oh,
it. Now
oh.
you said it.
See
You said
what?
you said black girl.
It was
That-
on
That's
screen.
correct. That's correct. And herein lies the problem.
What?
I didn't think that.
I don't see
In
color.
my
It doesn't
mind,
matter. It doesn't
You're
matter.
right. You're right. You're right. I agree with you. But in my mind, I didn't even see that. I didn't think that.
Yeah,
That's,
Adam's a racist,
The
dude.
joke was, this is a scumbag sheriff. He's literally lying to everyone. If he's going to traffic someone for profit, I wouldn't be shocked.
This dude
It
was
wasn't,
fucking waiting.
She's a black girl going to the slave trade. And that's stupid of me. Why the hell did I not make that connection in my head? Because I'm stupid.
Okay.
I admit that. I'm dumb.
I agree.
I don't know if I believe that.
You don't have to. That's fine.
Okay.
You don't have to believe me. I can't make you believe me. I didn't think of it at one moment. Did I ever think, oh, she's a black girl, make a slavery joke? Absolutely not. It was about child trafficking, essentially, and that this guy would have probably done that because he's such a piece of garbage.
I love joking about child trafficking too.
Okay.
Let's talk about your. I feel like we can.
Okay.
I feel like we
You're
can go on for,
No, he doesn't
for an
see
hour
race. He
about
didn't
this
see it was a
clip, but
black woman coming.
We,
Let's move on.
12-hour
move
show
on.
coming up, folks.
Right. Let's talk about this. So it seems like your biggest detractors are some of your earliest fans. They were fans who have turned into detractors. Why do you think that is?
So,
Like,
I mean,
anything
this might be a
special
long
if I hit this
answer.
guy?
My fans will know it. But, again, I've been doing this for 15 years. My
Fuck
first
me.
5 years that I did it, all right, I had absolutely no effort to make it professional at all. I was being a jackass on camera, okay? And
No, I was
didn't
never
even
a
have
Phil
direct
fan.
capture. For 5 years, I was having a camera pointed at my TV. Everything looked like junk, okay? But it was a joke. It was like, I don't care. I'm just some normal guy filming games. I'm terrible at them.
God.
I make risque jokes. I'm swearing at them. That was the shtick. That's what everyone liked back then. And then, basically what happened was after doing it for about 4 to 5 years, someone made a video. And the video was called This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, no. Fuck you,
And
evil
this was
AJ.
a playthrough I had done of Metal Gear Solid 2, where I did my usual shtick.
That's
And
awful,
my usual
Zone.
shtick is, oh, I suck at the game. Am it my fault that I suck at the game? Of course not. It's the game's fault. It's Hideo Kojima's fault.
Yeah.
So I blame
Dude, that-
him. I insult him massively during the
Go
play.
fuck yourself, dude. The whole Kojima shit was not a character. That dude fucking hated Kojima.
Through. I'm just raging at this game constantly.
Dude,
My
hey,
viewership
Kojima.
loved it. But someone made a parody video essentially taking out the moments of me doing that. Taking out all gameplay moments that would have been considered good or fun or entertaining and only focusing on basically the cringeworthy moments. They made this montage and it blew up with popularity on the internet. Okay? And essentially what happened was all of my shortcomings as a content creator for 5 years, these things that people liked now became, oh, Phil is not like his contemporaries. He's not putting effort into his content. He's just a jackass. Look at him. He's a joke. So now let's make fun of him. And what ended up happening was people would take every playthrough I did moving forward and make a This Is How You Don't Play video about it. And my fan base turned on me. Admittedly, if you would like, I'm not going to go into a giant explanation.
So,
because
so
this has been-
your fan base turned on you because of what a video that somebody else did highlighting, like if that doesn't make sense, Phil.
Did you get bitter?
I don't know if this is a good video or not to illustrate,
Okay.
but let's see.
Next question. Hey, Phil, I'm a longtime fan, and I've been watching your videos since 2010. I'm just wondering...
Thank you, Black Mage. Appreciate it, dude. Realist, most honest career on YouTube, though. Yeah, well, he was playing a character, but also he's always been extremely honest.
You seem to dislike Hideo Kojima so much. Here we go again. I know most of it
Thank
is
you, Black
just your
Mage.
joking around about how he excessively has his name in the credits and opening cutscenes of his games, but I feel some of the things you say about him have genuine malicious intent behind them. One example is during your recent PT playthrough where you got angry and said things like, Kojima is sitting there smoking a doobie and he doesn't know how to make games, and other comments of that
Great.
nature. I was just wondering if you're joking around with comments like that or if you have genuine disdain for Kojima. Thanks. And that's from Smelly Day Goes. Well, I've answered this question before. I'll do it again because undoubtedly every year now you're going to have thousands more people who are listening to the complete nonsense smear campaign about me and how I hate Kojima, I don't respect game developers, and the KWO is after me. Listen, I like Hideo Kojima and his work. I do. I actually very much enjoy the Metal Gear Solid games. I do. I wasn't good at them, but that doesn't mean I didn't like them. Okay? Now, what I have issue with Hideo Kojima
Yeah, this never
is
happened,
that
dude.
he tries to do things that are so outside the box and innovative that unless you know what you're doing or how to do it or beat it, that
He
you wouldn't
loves
be able to,
Kojima,
and you're
dude.
going to have repetitive fails, and it's going to frustrate the fuck out of the gamer. Some people see this as like amazing artistic masterpiece. He made something so cryptic that it's hard to find. It's genius. To me, I say it's stupid.
He's
Because when I
pretending he
play
doesn't
a
like
game,
Kojima.
I want to play a game that's a functional game, and the reason that
Oh, fuck me. What the fuck? How did I close everything? What the fuck? This sucks. Oh, good job, guys. Look what you made me do.
Bitter when that happened because when I hear
Okay, does it put
My-
us back in the right
my
spot?
fan base turned on me. Admittedly, if you would like,
The following has been paid for by the
Kojima,
Kojima World Order.
now that you think about it. All right, Kojima. How many? All right, Kojima's name appeared 13 times in the credits of Metal Gear Solid 2. How many times do you think it'll appear in the credits of Metal Gear Solid 3? I guess we'll have to see. Hey, look, already a cutscene. All I did was take 2 steps.
I think it was Control Z, possibly.
Oh, Hideo Kojima. His name will show up in the credits 400 times. Don't worry.
KWO.
Punch the button.
I
can't.
shied
No
low.
button of mine punches the button. Nothing punches it.
Fuck this stupid shit. Seriously, man. Kojima's a fucking asshole.
Kojima's a fucking asshole.
Punch the switch. How do you punch the fucking switch? I'm so tired of this shit. Kojima's a fucking cocksucker. If I don't
Kojima's a
find him, I'm
fucking
gonna kick him straight in
cocksucker.
his fucking balls.
Dude, this is
I'm
fake.
serious, man. What an asshole. Look, what
Dude, this is
punch?
taken out of
How do you
context.
punch the button? How? Explain. I'm not a fucking genius. I press every fucking button combination and nothing punches the button.
For life.
This is extremely out of
Kojima
context.
for life.
I need that ability. Are you shitting me? So, when was the game gonna tell you need to unlock certain abilities in order to do puzzles? That's right, fucking never, because it's a Kojima game. That's who.
Thanks a lot,
That's
Kojima.
when.
Hey, he loves Kojima, dude.
What?
Let's watch one
I'm
more clip.
completely behind cover and I get killed. Start the fight over. Yes. Completely behind cover.
That's
Die.
the incident 2.0.
Yes. Applaud Kojima, everybody. Applaud. Applaud Kojima. It's a great game. Kojima World Order.
Alright, can
Thanks, dude. Love Kojima.
I'm not going to go into a giant. He's a joke. So now let's make fun of him. And what ended up happening was people. Phil is not like his contemporaries. He's not putting effort into his content. He's just a jackass. Look at him. He's a joke. So now let's make fun of him. And what ended up happening was people would take every playthrough I did moving forward and make a "this is how you don't play" video about it. And my fan base turned on me. Admittedly, if you would like, I'm not going to go into a giant explanation.
So,
because this
so
has been-
your fan base turned on you because of what a video that somebody else did highlighting, like if that doesn't make sense, Phil.
Did,
like,
did you
how does that make sense?
Did you get bitter when that happened? Because when
oh
I
yes!
hear
Oh my God, yes.
so do you think that bitterness changed the way that you were a content creator? Did you like add that into your shtick, as you say?
I don't think so. I think what happened was I reacted so bitterly to it. In hindsight, today I look at it and I'm like, that was an opportunity. I could have taken that and run with it. I could have done my own, or I could have highlighted those and laughed at them. But instead,
Yeah, he tried
again,
having
it was
fans
a
do
different
that and they
climate.
sucked
Today,
ass.
Everyone who makes content has all these methods of making a living, correct? We have Patreon, we have crowdfunding on our streams. That didn't exist back then. Back then, I was someone who had a full-time job, and the job was putting videos on the internet with monetization on them. That was my
So
only
this
revenue
was this
stream.
was after 2011 when you lost your job.
Oh, correct. Yes, I lost my job in late 2010. I was doing YouTube for a living for about 2 years when the "This Is How You Don't Play" movement started picking up. And basically, the way I saw it, and this is now I know this is stupid. I thought people are stealing my
Thank you,
content,
Black
man.
Mage.
If someone takes my content without my permission, edits together, and only shows the worst of me, that's going to highlight myself and my business in a very negative light. That's
your
going to
phone
make
at
me look like
1:04
crap.
a.m.,
And instead
dude.
of people laughing with
Yeah, it
me,
was
now
bad.
they're going to laugh at me. And therefore, that's theft. I
Appreciate
outright
it, Black
said this
Mage.
in my videos. You stole my content without my permission. How dare you? This is bad. This, today I realized how dumb that was.
Oh,
Many years
come
later.
on!
And let's be honest, the bubble was going to burst on ad revenue on YouTube one day anyway. I don't think that was ever going to last forever, but I was an idiot. I thought I actually went 1,000,000% bitter against
God,
it.
they're making a
And
lot of
when
money
that
on this
happened,
stream.
people saw that change in attitude of me. Wow, Phil used to totally just not care about anything. Now all of a sudden he's always bitter about people joking about him and stuff, and that just goaded them on to do it more and more.
Well,
And now-
that's what you just said right there. So you're admitting that you added this bitterness, but initially, like 2 minutes ago, you said that's when they turned on
Dude.
you. Before admitting that you actually were getting bitter. So don't you think that like that kind of correlates? Like maybe it was that moment when you didn't own up to the fact that people were making fun of you, being this king of hate guy, now
Okay,
going to
whatever.
they're stealing my shit. I'm fucking pissed about it. What the fuck? And now everyone's like, well, who the fuck is this guy? You got to own it. If you don't own it, then like why? Then you're just a joke. So it felt like you just kind of like let that run your ship that you were sailing.
Have a good night, Lord
I have
Snart.
nothing I can say to counter that in any defensive manner. It's a mistake I made. My reaction to "This Is How You Don't Play" directly fueled the fire for more people to keep doing it and to escalate further, because it started as just a movement of Phil's a bad gamer. He doesn't deserve the success he has on YouTube because he has no production quality. He's a rager.
I can't beat this fucking castle,
You're not
dude.
gonna watch a Dark Side Phil playthrough and get any kind of
Pissed.
knowledge
I'll play it
of really how
tomorrow
to
when
play a
I'm
game at a good level because he's not good at games.
not as tired.
You watch him rage and make bad jokes and stuff. But it became, instead of watching his raw content to reward him with ad revenue, watch the This Is How You Don't Play video so he doesn't get paid for it and just make fun of him instead. And my reactions 1,000,000% fueled that. I will admit that. Now, over the years, it got worse and worse. And that's, I'm sure we're going to get into how wasn't just about Phil's a bad gamer anymore. It became everything else under the sun. And we can talk about how that evolved over time. But it's my fault. It is my fault that people have originally turned against me on the internet. 100% it is.
Greg?
So you feel that your reaction to the "This Is How You Don't Play" is what really parlayed your fans into becoming detractors.
Yes. And it's not all of them, but absolutely back then, I saw people who had been longtime supporters and fans disappear, only to years later crawl back into, as someone who was crapping on me. Like, whoa, what happened? The way I saw it was.
What happened?
And this is I'm such an idiot. I admit this today. After 15 years of doing this, you realize how you change as a person and
It's
how
a
you can see
tractor's
from a
fault,
different perspective.
in my opinion.
My mentality was, I'm the popular YouTuber. I'm the guy putting out all these videos and everyone's watching. I'm making money. My shit doesn't stink, man. How can you say that I'm doing something badly? I'm the one who has a successful business, not you. So who are you to throw criticism at me? That was my attitude. What a dumb attitude to have. What an idiotic attitude. Everyone knows that you need to actively be listening.
He thought he
to
was so
your
cool
base and
because
your
he
fan base
did
and working
fucking Let's
with them
Plays.
to create a product that's meaningful to them. And at that point in my career, it was just put the same shit out every day. And hopefully people watch it. And, hey, up to that point, 2012, 2013, I hadn't seen any plateauing. I hadn't seen any decline. It was still going up. So I'm thinking, hey, everything's good. If people are saying I'm bad, I don't believe them. That's
On the
bullshit.
gravy
That's
train,
just them trying to
baby.
ride my coattails, right? But in reality, they were all correct. They were 100% correct. My shtick was tired. It was old. No one wanted to watch someone with a camera pointed at their TV, raging at Hideo Kojima. They wanted to see meaningful content, and things were changing. There were people coming to YouTube with better production quality, much higher quality stuff, interactive streams. I let all that pass me by. I was an innovator at the beginning, and I was a dinosaur 5 years in, and that's totally my fault. And
What
What would you say you innovated at the beginning?
at the beginning, the improv commentary style and the ability to basically do a full-length playthrough with commentary over it. I was not the first person who did it. There's other people, everyone will argue. There's actually argument between it was either Slow Beef or someone else who originally was like the big first.
I think it was Phil.
But I was the person who started doing it rather than back then when I started on YouTube.
Listen, Expandong, you need to go back to the basics to really become a pro. I am going to the kitchen. I'll be right back.
2008 is the year where I really started doing active
But I can
playthroughs.
still hear I got my
The
Bluetooth
people who were
on,
doing
dude.
gameplay on YouTube were mostly known for being like a guru in one genre. This is the Call of Duty player. This is the fighting game player. I was the jack of all trades. I could play any game, do commentary over it that was kind of improv commentary, and people thought it was funny because of my mannerisms, my jokes. Yes, back then that kind of stuff was funny. And
You say that kind of
basically-
stuff. What do you mean?
well, we just talked about it. You were talking about risque jokes. Back then, my commentary was like 90% sexualized content. It was making fun of every woman, making dick jokes, sex jokes, bad stuff. That today, you don't say that stuff. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's lowbrow comedy. But back then, that was a big part of my content. I watch now. I couldn't even stomach watching stuff that I did 2008 to like 2011. I'd be like, it just turns my stomach to listen to like who I was, how cringeworthy I was back then.
Look,
But-
we all get it, right? We understand that people change over time. Totally understand that. I guess my thing is, what have you done? So you've had these light bulb moments, right? You said you had one last year. You had one, in 2012, 2013, where you realized that you're getting left behind from a technological standpoint, and you're doing gameplays that are, the big difference for Phil was Phil could play all games, not just fighting games or Call of Duty or whatever. What has changed? What are you doing differently now in 2023 that you were doing that you weren't doing in 2013 when you had this realization? Because it sounds like you're doing the exact same thing, Phil. It sounds like I'm the guy who plays different games and occasionally come to my channel to get some sort of shock value joke, right? What differentiates you now from who you were a decade ago?
Okay, wow. Geez, first of all, full-time streamer I wasn't back then. I was just a YouTuber. Now I'm a full-time streamer, 6 days a week full-time, you know, mostly gameplay. Now I do React content as well. We'll talk about that in a second. Those jokes I don't really make anymore at all. Now, when I turn on a stream, it's about having a relaxed social conversation with my live audience. You know, I have people who come by and who are regulars now, who I recognize in the chat, and I can talk with them, and as if they're a friend. Okay, back then I didn't know anyone. Maybe I knew, you know, people who helped me with moderation and stuff, but I didn't know my viewers back then. I didn't have any personal relationships with any of them. Now it's like a friendly community. It's a totally different vibe watching 2023 Darkseid than 2013 Darkseid. That's for sure. And you know, having that now when I play a game, it's a community effort. I'm playing Oblivion right now. I don't know anything about Oblivion. It's the first time playing it, but people help me with the game. And because of that social aspect, the game is a relaxing chill session. There was no way I could have done a chill session in 2013. That wasn't what I was. I was a raged, you know, risque commentary kind of guy. Today, that's all gone mostly. Now, yes, there are moments of rage. I'm playing Wolong. There's definitely moments of rage that come back. But for the most part, you know, watch a stream today versus all the things that people say that I am, and you'd be like, I don't get it. I get this all the time. Someone will come by a stream of mine, and at the end of the stream, they'll say, Phil, just so you know, this is the first stream of yours I ever watched. I've heard all these things about you. And I don't get it. I just watch a 3-hour gameplay stream. None of the stuff that people say about you just happened in the stream. In fact, it was very relaxing. So what just happened? I'm like, they highlight the moments that are the shortcomings. That's what they do today. Or they reference 2013 Darkseid Phil as if that's today and saying that's the content I put out today. It's not. It's just definitely not. You know, I have a whole new channel where now I'm doing React style content, which again, I used to be an idiot. I hate React content. Reacting, that's lowbrow, that's little minimum effort. And people are like, Phil, people are interested in your thoughts.
DSP...
They just want to hear you react to random stuff from the internet.
Do you remember when DSP said, I am not your close personal friend, just so you know. Now he's saying that everyone's his friend. Now it's like hanging out with a bunch of friends. Yeah, what positive moments are there to highlight? There's nothing. Either he's sitting there in fucking silence, or he's sucking ass at a game and or bitching about money, or there's no positive moments. I had something else to say, but I forgot. I forgot. What was he talking about?
I hate React content. Reacting.
Oh yeah, I can't believe this dude has a fucking React channel. When I found out about that, that was insane. God, I couldn't believe it. You know how much shit he talked about React content, and then he started doing the, I think it was like the Boogie and Wings of Redemption reaction streams, and it was a rabbit hole. Now he's all the way down the rabbit hole, dude. Now I watch fucking Singapore videos for $50. Can you believe that? This dude talks so much shit about reaction content. He's watching Singapore videos, Singapore tourism videos.
It's lowbrow.
What the fuck?
Minimum effort. And people are like, Phil, people are interested in your thoughts. They just want to hear you react.
And he still shits on React channels, apparently.
Why would you think that's bad? And then I went, you know what? Let me give it a shot. I started doing React content. People love it. So that's on me for years being an idiot and saying dumb shit on the internet. And now I try it and it works. And it's more relaxing and it's fun. It's interactive with my audience. That's the difference, is that I've now become a more laid back guy. I want to put out meaningful content for my people every day. There's a difference between I did one rage-inducing thing, everyone laughed at it and talked about it.
Oh, really? Did you
wow,
remember? So almost exactly a year, huh?
And people told me that they were able to separate from their daily lives and relax with me and have a good time. That's more meaningful to me than getting one rise out of a stupid joke.
What is what's a day like look for you? Like when you wake up, what is your average day like? Walk me through a day of Phil.
Okay.
Like when you from the time.
Oops. What was I doing? I was reading Dr. Pignosis. At this rate, in a couple of years, if he's still alive, he will dye his hair blue. I absolutely agree with that, dude. That's something else to say. Figure it out soon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hope he explains it the way he always explains. Say, I wake up, I run downstairs, I have to do the brushing of the teeth, then I have to put water in my mouth to rinse it out, and then I have to spit out the water, and then I have to walk out the kitchen, walk out the bathroom door, then I have to walk down to the kitchen. Just, he puts his pants on 2 legs at a time, just like you. Or 1 leg at a time.
At 10:30 a.m. I'm setting up for my stream for the day. I'm reading news.
I think I have him muted. My bad. Oh my goodness.
Usually I don't wake up. Usually my cat wakes me
I
up.
went back a second.
And, you know, I get out of bed and get you ready for the day, you know, just like a normal person. You know, shower or eat breakfast, have a coffee, do chores around the house quick. You know, depends on the day, because some days my wife's at work, some days she's not. You know, jump into the office here. So, I you know, time-wise, you know, I probably get up between 8, 9 a.m. every day. I get into the office usually between 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, they didn't laugh. They didn't laugh at as my cat wakes me up.
To try to have news stories for everyone to talk about on my podcast, which I do every day. My stream usually goes on by 10:45 a.m. my time. You know, we do a little bit of pre-stream, you know, get some people on the stream for about 15, 20 minutes, play some music or whatever. And then I do what I call the Level 1 podcast. This is about an hour to an hour and a half long show where it's just discussion. And it could be a wide variety of topics, whether it's my gaming schedule for the next week, whether it's special events coming up, getting feedback from my viewers on how you like the things I'm currently doing, news stories, all kinds of stuff. This is something I just started about a year to a year and a half ago that I didn't used to do, and I realized this is meaningful
thank you,
that
Stephen
I should be doing in
Hawkins.
my content.
I appreciate
So I do the
it.
podcast. Usually the podcast ends around 12:30ish Pacific time. You know, maybe take another few minutes break, then we start with gameplay. So we'll do about a 3 to 4 hour gameplay stream. Games, are, as we talked, are wide variety, and I have a set schedule I do every day. I'll post it up everywhere on my socials so people know what I'm doing. That gameplay will usually run about 3-4 hours. Then when that's done, I have to upload all that content. So, you know, another half an hour roughly setting up uploads or whatever. And then usually I spend some, if my wife's home from work, I'll spend about an hour with my wife having dinner, you know, running errands around the house. Again, depends on the day, anything I could squeeze between streams. I'm right back on stream again around 6:30. I'm in the office again. And I'm streaming again for another 2 to 3 hour, you know, gameplay stream. The late night streams are more chill streams. What I say is the daytime
This is
streams
the
are
busiest
more,
guy
let's say
I've
there's a
ever
major new
seen.
game coming out.
And
You
correct
know, in a
beans.
few weeks we got Resident Evil. Actually, next week, Resident Evil 4 remake. That'll be my daytime streams. That's the one everyone wants to see. More people can watch usually on an earlier time zone or time frame.
Yeah, I think so, Black Mage. I think he still thinks he's gonna turn this thing around, and it's gonna be just like the quartering video interview from now on.
So I play that on the first.
I don't think he's realized that he's gonna get butt fucked still.
You just want to relax with
From
me.
what I've
you don't
heard,
care about
anyways.
rage, you don't care about a new game. You just want to relax with Phil. Come to my late night stream. That's
Yeah,
at
they
6:45
regret this.
PM every day. And that runs about 2-3 hours, and it's just chill gameplay. It's not about the gameplay. It's about me talking with my audience. And if there's gameplay, great, we'll advance with the game. But it's more just relaxing. And then when that's done, you know, that stream probably runs till around 9:30 p.m. Then I got to upload. And then, of course, I'm closing down for the day, setting up streams for the next. I'm probably out of my office between 10 to 11 p.m. So all in all, you know, we were talking work day-wise. My work day starts roughly around 9:30, 10 a.m. and ends around 10 to 11 p.m. Then after that, I maybe have an hour to spend with my wife and relax at night. You know, watch a movie, watch a TV show or whatever. And, you know,
Eyes
and
out
then
for-
chores around the house. It's time for bed and on to the next day. And that's 6 days a week. That's my life.
Guy does so
One day a week I
much.
take off from streaming and content creation. And that day is essentially every possible thing you can think of that I need to cram into one day. Whether that's
Wow.
grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, running errands, everything you can think of. Oh, by the way, that's the one day I have off to spend some time with my wife, other than an hour here and an hour there. So if we're going to do something, we try to cram it in on that day. And that's
So-
my life.
The average person works 5 days a week, which is admittedly one less than Phil does. But how does everyone else fit in doctor's appointments and grocery shopping and all that? How does everyone else in the world fit that in? Huh.
So let me ask you this.
Curious.
Just based off of what you're saying right now, that doesn't seem like the most healthy lifestyle.
I
doesn't
agree.
seem like the most conducive, like, from a streaming perspective.
Do you guys remember when Phil said that he doesn't need to work out because he goes to Costco and he carries the bags? I have that clip. I hope that's on my channel still. It might have been one that got taken down a while ago.
Perspective, or in a content perspective, yes, you're producing a lot of content, but it doesn't seem like a very healthy lifestyle. Do you feel that your community and the people who donate to your streams are enabling that lifestyle? Do you feel that they are encouraging you to live that lifestyle that may not be the healthiest lifestyle?
So you're saying through people showing up and supporting my streams, they're making me work more. Is that the question?
Maybe you have a pressure that you're putting on yourself to do that because this is your only job, and then you're therefore working as much as you are because you are, working for the support that.
Oh, thank God DSP doesn't have kids,
So
man.
it's like cyclical. Like they come and then you're like, I need to be there, and then like now you need to be there and do it all day, and then if they're not there for you, then it's kind of like this mental addiction almost. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for about 3 years, and I know that it's a thing. Getting addicted to super chats, numbers, analytics, like the way that you spoke about analytics about 20 minutes ago, or no, 40 minutes, I don't know, earlier in the stream, you're clearly very much like watching it and attuned to it. So it's obviously on your mind.
Right. I think the biggest thing is, we
Wait.
talk about mental health, right? Mental health, physical.
I found it.
But as of right now, all my time and energy is going to the streams. I agree a sedentary lifestyle is not good. I completely agree with you. If anything, the one thing I can say is my one day out a week that I have with my wife, because we have only the one day to get a ton done, it's a lot of activity. I'm moving and walking. The entire day is like motion, walking and moving. I'm burning calories. My body is getting... That one day I get like all my exercise in because I'm constantly doing stuff. Last week, we not only had to do our usual stuff, we had to do a Costco run. So here I am carrying heavy shit and everything all day. And I was like, damn, it's a good workout, but you're right. It shouldn't just be like that. It should be essentially 2-3 times a week at the very least. I'm getting physical activity in my body, and I don't, and it sucks. Eventually, I'd love to change that. Right now, it's not possible.
Motion. Dude, he carries the milk once a week. He's absolutely buff. At this
health
point,
and how they're so tied together. And the one thing I didn't hear during there is a time to, whether work out or have time for yourself. Everything that you're doing right now seems to be from a streaming perspective, from a content perspective, right?
Oh, hanging out with his wife.
Right. Well, but an hour at the end of the day,
chill.
right? And that's awesome. I'm just thinking once again, like you it seems like you're in this never-ending
motion.
I don't know, for lack of a better metaphor, like a hamster wheel, where you get up and you start running, and then you finish up at the end of the day, and you finish up running, and then you get off, you go to sleep, and you wake up, and you do that 6 days a week. And I understand we all have our hamster wheels and our rotations and our schedules and the way we do things, but it just appears that just from the outside looking in that if you weren't making the money that you were making, you probably wouldn't live that lifestyle.
Okay, fair enough. I've talked about this many times over the last several years of my videos. They say, what would you change if you could improve anything about your life? What would you do? And the answer would be somehow to take financial pressure off of me so I could spend more time with my wife. We've been married since 2019. We never went on a honeymoon. We haven't been on a trip since we got married. Can't afford it, and I'm sure stuff will come up. I went through a bankruptcy because of really bad choices in my past, and a combination of online trolling ruining a lot of my financial income with my business.
I'm sorry that's super crazy to delete your
In
message.
tandem of that ruined a lot of stuff for me. since the bankruptcy went through.
Because again, you
I
just
have
have to
not
be
been able
mod,
to
dude.
fully recover because of it's always something else, and I'm tired of it. I really am. I'm looking, where's the light at the end of the tunnel, so I can have an extra day off with my wife once a week, which I think I deserve and she deserves. But every time,
It's amazing that how long have they been married at this point? Like 4 years, possibly? Question mark. And you haven't taken a single trip, despite the fact that he's making like 120,000 a year. You make 120,000 a year, and you and your wife haven't gone on a single trip. That's fucking insane. April 2019, so like 4 years. Jesus Christ, dude, that's fucking insane.
and again, I want to make something very clear here.
Kat
I'm
doesn't
not
feel on plane.
trying
She
to
used
put
to though.
myself out as a
That's the
victim.
thing.
All right. The reason that a lot of the things that happened to me over the years is because of me. I know
He's
that.
got the Scopely
I'm a
bills.
flawed human. I'm sorry for some of the horrible things I've said and done over the years. I've publicly apologized. That's why a lot of people hate me. But every time that it looks like things are getting better, these people will do something horrible to me or my family that ruins financially things for me. This has happened several times over the last few years. It was 2 years ago. All right. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. I was still on Twitch. This wasn't when I was full-time YouTube streamer. I was a Twitch streamer. I've been streaming on Twitch for 4.5 years. I built up my
Yeah, they still
viewership
haven't
and my
gone to the
member-
zoo,
excuse
which
me,
is
my
like
subs on Twitch were at like 900
40
subs
minutes
a month.
away.
Things were going good. I said publicly to my audience, guys, this is great. You know, the bankruptcy went through last year. That's not great, but that took a lot of financial burden off of me. If things keep going how they're going,
When bankruptcy
I see a light.
is a
I'll be able to
win.
I'll be able to improve my business. I'll be able to maybe take time off, spend time with my wife, reduce the amount I stream. This will be outstanding. What happened? My trolls
Oh
took
no!
the King of Hate mantra, which we just discussed earlier, and they got me kicked out of the Twitch Partner Program.
Wow!
Now I've been with the Twitch Partner
And
Program.
how much
for 4.5
money is he
years.
making on YouTube?
Twitch had no issue with me. Twitch, knowing who I was in my past and the kind of content that I put out and everything, willingly took me under their partner program. They signed me up for promotional opportunities. They had me promoting different things on their streams and stuff. And then they actually
Different
campaigned
things.
to get me kicked off of Twitch, and they did. So I'm not kicked off of Twitch, but I can't make money on Twitch anymore.
Oh no!
What
happens?
did they do? What do you feel that they did to you to
destroyed
get
his
you
life,
removed
dude.
off Twitch specifically?
They organized a campaign.
Organized the
And
hate
The thing is,
campaign.
these people are so they everything they do, they try to do publicly, so that way they can get a laugh out of it or at least get credit for it. So there was an organized movement against me.
An
What they were gonna
organized
do
movement.
was say that 2011, excuse me,
It's like it's a
2021
political
Phil,
action.
This happened is the same as 2009, 2010 Phil. They took out of context clips. They took those bad jokes from back then, which
Yeah,
I
you can
already
reapply now.
publicly
Alright?
apologized for, and I don't.
I
do that
remember
kind of
when
stuff regularly
Twitch was
anymore,
the future.
okay? I've grown from that.
Well, I
They
just
put-
saw a bad clip from a year ago, so that's pretty recent.
Correct. That's correct. And again,
Yeah, exactly,
I'm
Salford.
totally fallible. I make mistakes from time to time. Okay, but
4
for the
years
most
he
part,
hasn't
that's
gone
not
to
me
the
anymore.
zoo.
You can watch
I
my
know,
content, you won't see
but
that.
How many times has he bitched about not going to the zoo too? I've heard him bitch about that like I don't want to overestimate, but it's been like 5 times.
grown from that.
Well, I
They
just
put-
saw a bad clip from a year ago, so that's pretty recent.
Correct. That's correct. And again, I'm totally fallible. I make mistakes from time to time. Okay, but for the most part, that's not me.
Yeah,
anymore.
Zion, it's
You can
insane.
I know,
watch it, you won't see
but
that.
but what you just said was just disproven because you had just made it that same kind of racy joke. I'm not trying to like make it a big deal, but I'm just pointing out that what they were saying is 2021 Phil is the same as before. When you just told me in 2022 you made a joke, so this was after they'd said this, and it was you're making the same
What?
kind of like inappropriate jokes that you
I
were
hate-
back then.
I hate Adam, dude.
Correct.
So it's kind of so they're right. Are they
No.
right or are they wrong? I mean,
They're right in saying that I still make mistakes and I'm a flawed human. They're wrong in saying this is who Phil is all the time. This is his content because that's what got this happening. And by the way, it wasn't just the Twitch partner program. They basically did this exact same
He's
thing
a
to all
valuable
these different
pig.
business relationships that I had. They said he's the king of hate. He has a website called thekingofhate.com. Here's a bunch of bigoted, racist, sexist, horrible jokes he's made over the years, and they compiled this into like a montage. And they basically had hundreds, if not more people, pummel these businesses with it to the point where they said, listen, It's not that, we had Phil on our site for so long.
We love
knew
Phil,
this
but
was
they
him,
forced
but we
us.
can't have people constantly harassing us.
Yeah, see?
So we have to end it. That way, it'll stop.
They didn't want to get rid of him.
Did Twitch tell you that? Did they say
Yeah,
that to you?
thank you.
Twitch told me. Here's
Thank
what
you.
they told me.
Jesus Christ,
We
thank
launched
you.
an investigation into your history, and we found that over the years you have used, what was the word? It wasn't racial. It was harmful slurs. Harmful slurs, as if basically
So they didn't say we wanted to
saying
keep
really
you. We
nasty
just can't.
racial or things that I do not say. I do not say those things. You'd have to go back so far to see me say something like that, and it was a one-off comment. That was, again,
A
I'm
one-off
sure people will
comment.
bring it up what it was specifically, and we could address it individually if you want to. But the way they're
That when you
we
called
found
Hulk
that you
Hogan
said
the
this
N-word?
100 years ago. Sorry, you're gone. Like what? I was on your site for 4.5 years making money. You never had an issue with it. Now you find something from the past, and that's not acceptable. And all of a sudden, what changed overnight? And the funny part was, it happened to me. It happened to another streamer called Wings of Redemption, and others all
great.
at once. Almost as if Twitch was having a culture shift.
They're
where they
having a
decided they
culture
wanted
shift.
problematic people off the site. They wanted
Well,
them,
that is true. I mean, that happened to plenty of people.
Why
I
he
know
worded
people
like
got-
that? He's like,
got
they
booted
want
off of Twitch
problematic
because
people off the
they're
site, therefore they got rid of me.
Christian,
That-
and
that doesn't
they're
make you
proud
sound
of
good,
it.
dude.
It's pretty crazy. So I don't like Twitch.
So here I am. I've never received any kind of a warning. I never gotten a community strike. Everything I'm doing according to Twitch terms of service is fine. I'm not banned from Twitch. I could stream there right now. But according to their partnership
Yeah,
criteria,
they want more
all my
squids.
past actions
Good night,
are unforgivable, and
Mercer.
therefore you can't make money on our
Messer.
site anymore.
Did
So
you go
what
to them and bring them, did you explain to them this, look, this comment was made? Have you had any sort of discourse with Twitch to kind of explain these things? Because if you're saying that these comments were made a decade ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever, and culture was
Squids are
different or
oppressed,
whatever
unfortunately.
it is you want to say, have you had that opportunity to speak with Twitch about these things? And if you did, do you feel, well, no, we'll start there.
Okay. And by the way, it's not just Twitch. This happened to several other businesses too. I don't want to talk about all of them publicly, only because it's just going to open.
Let's talk about
other nets.
Teespring.
But basically, these businesses, the way that they approach it now is, well, we have terms of service.
You're wrong, Stephen
If
Hawking.
you break them, too bad.
Unfortunately,
We have absolutely no
Completely
legal
wrong.
obligation to tell you what you did wrong, because
it's only
you
Twitch.
just don't have to. I don't believe that's true. I think if you do something wrong, they should tell you what exactly, specifically, what you did and how to remedy it.
But they
Because
don't
if you're
have
telling
to.
me I did something to break our legal agreement, obviously I want to fix that. I don't want to keep doing the wrong thing, but they don't care. I tried reaching out to the legal team of Twitch, and
I've never read the Twitch agreement that you signed or anything. I just have to assume that this is bullshit, that they can kick you off the site at any, because you're not actually an employee, right? You're not employed by Twitch unless you're like an engineer there, social media person, right? So I just have to assume that they can kick you off whenever they want. They don't have to tell you anything. You're a contractor? I don't know, but you're not an employee.
essentially that we have no obligation to have further contact with you. If you'd like to reapply for the Twitch Partner Program, come back in 365 days and reapply, and at that time we'll reevaluate the situation. So
Well,
now I'm out of income for a year.
Okay, so can you still be an affiliate?
Nope. I was completely out of the partner program for a full year.
So it's been a year.
But now you
Why
can do
don't
it.
you try to rebuild the affiliate side of things and try to reapply? And I me's been how many years now? I mean, and
It's
if
been
you go the
almost 2.
affiliate, so if you go the affiliate route, I mean, being a partner on Twitch, and let's be real, being a partner on Twitch, it allows you nothing. There's no benefit
See,
of being
that's
a
what
partner
I'm
on
guessing,
Twitch
Subject.
at all outside of
No,
them
it's
wanting
actually
to-
standard
work,
contract, right?
Right.
You can't share your content in multiple
big
places. You
bitches
have to be
got,
exclusive on Twitch.
Right. So it would seem like the best route
Oh,
would
they
be
have
go the
more
affiliate
legal
route
routes.
and not be a partner on Twitch. That way you can stream to YouTube and cast your net as wide as you possibly can and grow your audience as much as you possibly can. I don't know. Why not do that?
Well, that I've told you one half of the equation.
Mhm.
Let me
All
tell
right,
you
let's hear
other
the
stuff
second
that was
half.
also going on. Within that same time frame of that happening, the whole year, Twitch had basically several times shut down my business entirely for things I never did. So, for example, it was the summer before I'm streaming a game, and my stream just goes offline right in the middle. What happened? Oh, you've
Wow.
been hit with a copyright strike. Copyright strike.
What?
Someone lied, said they worked for the company that I was playing the game of, and impersonated an employee, and Twitch doesn't vet it. They
Fuck.
just shut your whole stream down. This happened probably 3 to 5 times within a small time frame, and I'm like, wow, like, I hope it goes away. Eventually it did, but they left me with basically no avenue to really fix this issue besides going to their support and saying, you know, what are you doing? Do you actually have confirmation this is real or not? Then at the same time, okay, that I got kicked out of the Twitch partner program, I decided I'm going to, just what you just said, Craig, I didn't just quit Twitch that day. I stuck around for about a month after that. I said, you know what? I can't get super chats. I can't get paid subs right now. I'm going to roll with it anyway. Let's see what happens. Can I make a living? I had a Patreon.
Yeah, and he doubled the tip
Sending me
skull,
tips, you know, direct
if I
donations, as
remember
you call them.
correctly.
Maybe I could still make a living doing that. And you know what? More power to it, because if I can, now who cares if I'm not in the partner program? What are they going to get me kicked out of, right? As I'm streaming,
I mean, the
get
whole
shut
website.
down again. What? Oh, you said a racist term. No, I didn't. And then I repeal it. Oh,
What did they
back.
say you said? What did they say that you said?
I believe it was the N-word, but I don't know because they don't say that in the
Is that the
log when they
Returnal?
submit. They just say, "Oh, you were
No, I
saying
think-
a racist term."
That was
Did
And
you
if
say
you
the
were
N-word?
right- Oh no, I was playing a Returnal.
Oh no, it was
And when I
Returnal.
was playing it, I was in the middle of saying
Stationary.
something, and then like an enemy attacked me, and it was like a jumble of words that just happened to maybe sound like that. If you were not listening in context, you might
Stationary
say, "Oh my god, I
negative.
heard it out of context. It sounds like he said it," but it was. It was actually like me getting tongue twisted. You know, and it could happen anyway.
Oh, I remember
And then
Mentor
they
Dread.
mass submitted, my trolls mass submit that to Twitch. Oh, he said the N-word. So now I get kicked off of Twitch temporarily. My whole stream gets shut down. It took about a day. I got brought back, but it's like, at one point, when am I going to realize this business is not being professional? They're going to kick me out of their partner program for stuff I did 10 years ago, not give me any recourse to appeal it or stick up for myself. We don't have to do that legally. So, you know, oh, so now I'm out money that I was making for a living. Now you can shut down my stream at any time for something I didn't even do. And then I have to go out of my way to correct your mistake because you're an unprofessional business. I mean, and I was there for almost 5 years.
Unprofessional
building a
business.
community. I had so many people who loved me being on Twitch, and I lost a lot of viewership and a lot of income moving from Twitch and coming.
Has
over
he
to become
lost
a full-time
income?
streamer on YouTube. YouTube is not as profitable.
I
as
remember he
streaming.
got
There's no
back
real,
to where he was on
discoverability over here.
YouTube, like,
It's very hard to get noticed on YouTube. I
very
love-
quickly.
But
Why
there's
do
no
you- why do you wanna
discoverability on
do it
Twitch
then?
either. Yeah,
Why,
I
why
think
do you want to
yeah,
even be a
there's-
streamer anymore? Like, what is your reasoning? And I like streaming. I understand. I love being on stage. I'm a musician as well. There's something about having an audience that I really love, and I love having an audience. They're the reason that, you know, I'm successful. And it's like, if you're struggling, if you're facing this, like, wouldn't it be better for your well-being and like your relationship with your wife
He
and your
doesn't care
family
about
to
that
just
shit, dude.
stop doing this for a little while, get a normal job, and just, you know, kind of take a breather?
No.
A lot of people have said that to me. My mother said that to me when I got married. She's like, you know, look how things are going. You know, on the internet, everyone's crapping on you. And, you know, don't you think that maybe long term things should change? And at that point, and that was around 2019, before
Wow.
the bankruptcy and all of that.
And then
I
she
kinda
gave you
agreed with her. I was like,
$4,000?
Yeah, look at this. You know, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to improve and be better. And it's like people don't care. People just want to crap on me no matter what I do. And my mom said something really important to me. She said, "You're not beholden to
Sonny.
anyone but yourself and God. Like, as
Oh,
long as you're
so
okay
true.
with who you are in the morning and that you feel that you're okay with God." And my mom's religious. I'm not, okay? But when she said that to me, it was like, she's right. You know, why do I have to answer to an angry mob of people every day? Why can't I just live my life like everyone else on this planet, right? But, and of course, there's always a but, a lot of things changed between 2019.
One free membership.
I love what I do now. At one point, I will openly say this, I hated what I did for a living. Around 2016, a lot
Yeah,
of things
Black
were going
Mage.
really bad for me. YouTube had really started to just totally hate me. I was getting, you know,
Yeah, the
all
Amazon
kinds of
Prime did
horrible
help a
things were
lot.
happening to me behind the scenes. My personal life was falling apart as well. This is before I met my wife, by the way. And I didn't know what to
Look
do.
that I play a
felt like
real
was
game
trapped.
and now I'm in
I
first
was like,
place.
I have so much debt in my name. There's no way if I quit YouTube, if I'm gonna make, you know, if I'm gonna get a 9-to-5 job somewhere, I'm gonna lose everything. I'm gonna lose my house. I'm gonna lose everything because I can't afford it. If I get a 9-to-5 job, I would never make as much money, you know, as I
Yeah,
do on
Jerusalem
YouTube or Twitch
syndrome.
or whatever.
So
And
that's
then
really what it comes down to is streaming is more profitable than getting a 9-to-5.
Yes.
That's 50% of it. I would
No,
say.
that's
About
50%. Shut the fuck
Because
up,
the other
dude.
half is since I became a full-time streamer in 2017 and I changed my formula. It's not just about pumping out a ton of videos a day. Instead, it's about having
that's
meaningful
easier
content
job
with
too.
an audience that I connect with. This now, I would say, for 2017 till today, has been the absolute best time of my life.
That's fucking sad, dude.
And personally,
You got Jade
because I
in
met
there.
my wife, and I have a great personal life. As little time as I get to spend with her, it's the best experience I've ever had in my life.
How's it the best if you can't
life-changing
spend time with her,
experience
according to
meeting my
you?
wife. And then becoming an interactive streamer and leaving that past behind. I have to fill dead air constantly with a stupid, risque joke.
Now he just
dumb
has dead air the
commentary,
entire time.
And growing up and maturing. You know, I'm 40 years old. I'm not some teenager or 20-year-old being an idiot on the internet. My audience today is not the same audience I had 15 years ago. Now, if you look at as Adam says, I'm Mr. Analytics, right? If you look at my analytics, you'll notice I get almost no teen viewers. Almost like less than 1% of my viewership are teens. It's people in their mid to late 20s, 30s, and 40s. Why?
Yeah, that's
because now
bullshit,
you
dude.
come to my content and it's chill, fun. You know, every once
Fuck
in a while the
Luigi.
rage comes out. Everyone laughs at it.
Oh,
but
shit.
it's more meaningful stuff. I love that connection I have with my fans. I really feel like my fans are in some ways, and not that I'm going to that level of personal connection, but they're kind of like my friends. They're really good acquaintances who I know.
That's not
and we
what
can
you said,
chat,
dude.
and we can dick around every stream and have meaningful talk. I learn stuff from my audience. And
Yeah,
now
Don
I look back
Singapore.
at my past, like, what a
Fuck
dummy
you,
I was.
Luigi. Did you
I
see that
had
shit?
this amazing experience I could have been having for years and years, and instead I sat.
Did you fucking see that shit? Rewind the stream. 10 seconds, dude. Look at that bullshit. That just fuck Luigi.
I learned stuff from my audience, and now
Things
I
about
look
Singapore.
back at my past, like, what a dummy I was. I had this amazing experience I could have been having for years and years, and instead I sat there making dumb jokes instead of actually making meaningful content. So I love my job now.
What does meaningful mean? What does that, like, walk me through? What does that mean? Do you feel like you're like, is this, you say you have your audience is your friends, right?
Thank you,
You feel like
JC.
you have now I've seen clips of you say that you know your audience is not your friends, right? So like, are they your friends or are they not your friends? Are they, because you're kind of speaking on
Yeah, Dwight,
just
that's
based off
YouTube.
clips I've seen.
Sure.
Not blocking any
you're kind of speaking
comments.
of both sides of your mouth here.
My audience are not close personal friends. I'm not going to come on stream and tell you about super important behind the scenes stuff in my life. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm here 6 days a week.
Wait a second. Not a single snort during this interview. I thought I couldn't help it.
This is my social interaction
Oh.
outside of my wife.
Curious.
And the one day a week that I leave this house to do stuff when I'm not streaming. This right here, this laptop, this chat is my social interaction with the world.
That's fucking
So-
sad, dude. That is fucking sad. Jade Rasmussen, Derek, and I don't even know who the hell else. OIC. That's his social interaction for the year, for the century, or for the decade at least. That is fucking
That
awful,
is
dude.
me being friendly with people. That's, you know, as if you were, you know, you go to your place of work. Hi, how you doing? Your coworkers, right? You walk in, you hang out with them. Or
You
whatever.
finally
It's kinda
found the
what
mute
it
button.
kinda
That's
feels like, a
amazing.
camaraderie, with regulars, and you know, there's people who come in and out all the time, and that's the nature of the beast. But, I really do feel.
Look at this, dude. The original Japanese version, you get to drink champagne. Let's go. Let's go. Just a turtle drinking some champagne. Pretty sick.
like today, it's more meaningful what I do. There's, again, back in the day, people would say, Phil, I loved your content because I got to laugh today watching you rage. Today, it's like, Phil, let me tell you something. Something horrible happened in my life. And I came by your stream, and I hung out with you for 2 hours today. You were playing Oblivion. We talked. I helped you with the game. We had fun conversation about something going on the internet. At the end of that stream, I felt so much better. You know, it was such a fun, meaningful experience to me. And when people give me that feedback, that lets me know that what I'm doing is worthwhile. With all the hate and all the shit that gets thrown at me every day, that what I'm doing is meaningful. Since I've become a full-time streamer and I've taken ownership of who I am and the content I put out rather than just making dumb jokes, I feel like now this is the best time of my life because I'm helping people. I don't know if that sounds crazy or not, but that's what they tell me. And I love it. It helps me.
Yeah, he's drunk as
You know
hell.
what I mean? It's like kind of reciprocating back and forth.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
I think that every streamer has a relationship with their audience that's unique, right? As somebody who's doing it, I don't know your personal relationship with your audience. Was that you?
What the fuck
Adam?
was that?
Was that you
course.
toasting? Okay, just
Well,
making
you
sure.
were talking about a relationship with the audience, you know, and
Right.
just giving him
Right.
a chef, giving him a toasty.
Okay, just making sure. So,
You guys want to be in a
but
relationship?
it seems like your relationship is a little different when it comes to, you're very open that you are funded by your audience, right? You've said many times that you don't want sponsors, but you started talking today about how no sponsors will touch you, right? Because of for a number of different reasons.
He
for your
doesn't want sponsors,
reputation,
but
right?
also they wouldn't do anything. They don't want to contact him.
What is it? Which one is it? Would you rather have sponsors? What's wrong with having sponsors compared to, like, if a sponsor is going to come and pay you $500 to talk about, whatever their product is, wouldn't that be better than having to rely on crowdfunding? Or
No, because the only reason DSP says that is because no sponsors want to sponsor him.
I am super wet.
If they were sponsoring him, he'd be taking them. Thank you, Black Mage. Appreciate it, dude. Cry attempt number 5 failure. I do think he's trying to fake cry here, dude. Hey, Tavin.
your audience on a day-to-day basis?
Welcome, dude.
Oh, it's a double-edged sword. It really is, because I could say right now, if I had a bunch of sponsors on my stream, absolutely would things financially be better? Would the pressure be taken off of me to earn on a stream? Yes, absolutely it would.
He'd rather rely on
at the same time.
Rather rely on
And again, this
on
is
the
something
Derricks
that
of the
people
world
bring up
giving
that feel
money.
Stubborn, I agree. I have always.
It's not being
always,
stubborn at all. You
15
can't
years
get
that I
them.
make content. Always been critical of people who shill, and there's a difference between I have a sponsor today and I shill. There is. I know that. You can watch people out there who they put out a 30-minute video and 2 minutes of the video is a plug. I think that's acceptable, right? But then there's people who they try every opportunity to monetize everything they possibly could. Every aspect of what they do is a monetization. I've seen in my React content last year, I watched someone who apparently is supposed to be doing a heartfelt message to about something going on. They're crying on stream, and on top of the stream, there's ads running. Like,
wow,
you can't turn that off for 5 seconds to do your heartfelt message to your audience, right? For me,
but hold on.
Adam's
Phil,
looking upset, dude.
Because there are times where you say, look, hey, I really need, I'm in a really tough spot now. I got this coming up. And on the same screen, you have a tip tracker.
Rain's never
it's
going
the
away,
same
so
type
fine.
of thing. Like
He's fine.
you're tracking your revenue on the stream, and I don't have any problem with that. That's done by millions of streamers, but it's the idea of saying like, hey, I'm in a really tough spot right now. I really need you guys to help me out. And in your words, I'm going to be eating lunch meat sandwiches, right? Like what's wrong with lunch meat sandwiches sometimes?
there's nothing wrong with lunch meat.
No, he's got to
Them a
get
lot.
sushi. He's
They're
got to
delicious.
DoorDash it.
No, I see what you're saying. For the tip tracker, that's really there for rewarding my audience, and I know that's
Listen, Craig, you fucking idiot. DSP only has 1 day a week to spend with his wife. They cannot have lunch meat sandwiches. They have to get DoorDash or something. He only gets 1 day a week. What a fucking moron.
that sounds weird. I would prefer not to track tips, because if I didn't have to track tips, I wouldn't have to count all stream. I could just kind of focus on what I'm doing with my audience. But there's incentives, there's rewards that they like. They like silly things I do on stream.
They
come
love
up
the
with
silly
ideas,
things.
not me. They come up with the idea that if I raise a certain amount on a stream, I put on a stupid hat or a vest. They donate hats and vests for me to wear on a stream.
Did
to
they?
look like an idiot, and I'm okay looking like an idiot for them. I don't care. What do I? I'm self-deprecating. Who gives a crap? They're supporting me.
Yeah, the bubbles are so
way to give
silly.
back. No, I hear what you're saying. The difference is, all right, there's a tracker on the screen. Okay, big deal. I'm not going to sit there and talk about it constantly. If you watch a 4-hour stream I put out, yes, every once in a while hey guys,
Every once in a while.
stream or whatever today, and then we move on, right? And I'll hit upon it a few times during the stream. Some people say I hit upon it way too much, and I understand that. Everyone has different perspective on that. I agree that sometimes I do it too much. I'm trying to get better at that. But there's a difference between that and you could tell that a stream is being done because someone
I need to see that
is
expand
enjoying
dunk.
themselves and having a passion, or someone turned on a stream today to make money. You know what I mean? There's people out there that I feel like the only reason that they're in it is there's no passion. They don't love what they're doing. It's because they saw dollar signs. and they
But
want
Phil-
to monetize as much as
It sounds
they
like
can.
projecting right now.
Yeah, but
Just being
Phil,
honest.
Phil,
No.
you just said a few minutes ago, and I mean this with all sincerity, man. You said just a few minutes ago.
Love the
The
bobblehead.
reason why you still do
Whenever
this
they
is
start doing
because
stuff.
you can make more money than a 9-to-5 job, right? And
Half
it's
of it, right?
right.
Half
So
of it.
like that's a pretty big half, you know. And
The other half is because it's
I
easier.
don't know,
than
man.
doing
It
9
just
to
it
5.
doesn't seem. It seems like when you're asking your audience for money consistently. Look, Adam and I have both worked with people who like the worst thing you can do is look at your audience as a dollar, right? And
Yes.
and
Looks at them as
this
a
is
whole
something that,
lot of
that
dollars.
I don't have a whole
That's
lot
just
of.
a dollar,
you know,
dude.
I've left companies over this, right? And this is something that I don't agree with. But I would say that when
Greed
money
is-
comes in and you reach a goal, let's say you reach a goal and you put on your vest or whatever, how are you taking that money and are you reinvesting it into your content? Are you reinvesting it into cameras? Are you doing special streams
He has bills
outside
to
of
pay.
outside of
God,
just your day-to-day gameplay stuff?
These guys are fucking
what
stupid.
value are you adding by people?
he's
I mean,
paying
I get
his
you have
bills
to pay
so
bills.
he can
I get
continue
it,
to do
right?
this.
What value are you adding to your audience's experience to further that meaningful
These guys are
relationship
pissing me off.
that you're offering?
Yeah, we've had big goals. Like for example,
Yeah, and you showed
we
your
hit a
cat.
monthly members goal on YouTube. If we
No,
hit a
showed his
sub goal
pussy,
on
dude.
Twitch. Now instead of just doing our normal routine gameplay, I do an interactive event with the viewers where we'll talk for a series of weeks. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see a big React event? Do you want to see a special party atmosphere? We just did one a couple of weeks ago with a Super Bowl event. I'd never.
What
done
is
anything like
a
that.
React event? What does that mean? Is it just
basically
you
means-
watching stuff or?
React would be, for example, let's say there's a documentary, a long form documentary out there that people really want to see me react to. It's like 2 hours, right? But for me to react to it, it's going to take like 3-4 hours. Well, that's going to take a major chunk out of my normal schedule to do. You know, people also don't want me to get backlogged on the games that I'm playing. But you hit that event. Now we're going to do special things. You know, this big React event. It's separate from all my other content.
A React
Sometimes
stream.
it's hyped up. We set special things.
Shit
around
that
it
people
I
do
normally
every day.
do. Yes,
Shit
some
that
of
I'm
money
doing
needs
right
to be
now.
invested. I have a series. I know this sounds stupid, but my fans love this. It's called Feasting with the King. Basically, I order a meal and I
fans
eat a
love
meal
this.
with my audience. They think it's funny because they think it's funny to see me eat.
Dude, it's a fucking mukbang. No one thinks it's funny. Who in his audience laughs when he starts doing the feasting with the king? Maybe I'm out of touch. I'm pretty sure no one in the chat is laughing and being like, wow, it's so silly and zany that Phil's eating food.
I look stupid. They say I look like I'm in pain when I eat. They like making fun of me, right?
When you
So
say
you're
the
still-
king,
you're still using the king moniker. I see.
right?
Oh. Yeah, what's the king of? Were you the king of, Phil?
The king of
correct.
hate.
Not the
Well,
king of hate. That's the thing.
It doesn't
There's
matter.
leftovers.
You say the king, and you know that's what it was. So people are gonna make that connection.
Oh, no.
You're 100% correct, and the thing is, I do need to try to fully phase it out. Feasting with the King and Ask the King are two leftover shows or events that I do that have the King moniker in them that I probably should try to phase out or rename. But when you have things that have been running for so long, people actually have pushback. Like, don't change it. We love it. It's been like that for so long. Those are my true fans.
That's the thing, too, right, No? Is not only does he charge you to get the event, but then you have to pay him also during the event, and generally during those events he gets far above his usual tip goal. So what's the money going towards? I asked him how he improves his streams by basically begging for money every day. He says, well, I do fun React events. Okay, but then you ask for money during those React events.
Saying that, not my haters, you know. But you're right. I agree there. But anyway, no. Yes, I try my best to
I agree,
you know.
Hawkins.
There was
How?
well, like I just said, doing something above and beyond. I'm gonna.
Well,
order
that doesn't
this
cost
meal.
any money though. You know, doing another stream,
Yeah.
reacting. That's just
Correct.
making you more money.
But correct, but then you know the ordering of a giant meal that normally I wouldn't order. No, I'm talking ordering 2 entrees.
So
and stuff, you know,
$50.
DoorDash, you're talking $50-$60.
Wow.
I normally would not spend. You know, it's not budget.
Wow, he would have to eat food anyways, and he always orders DoorDash. So $50 compared to the $30 he would actually spend.
Because you know we did the special event. And,
Oh my
and
God.
I know I hear what you're saying. What you're
It's
saying is,
feasting with Phil
if you have
now.
these goals
That's
every day,
awful.
Where's the money going? Would you really like to know? Do you really want?
It's not. It's not. Honestly, it's not that we are asking. It's that I feel like the people out there that have been
Exactly, Expandong. The money that he raises for the event is the money that should be going to buy the food, right?
supporting you that now have turned against you because they feel you lied to them or you saw them as dollar signs, and that's all that they were to you. Yeah, it's like I feel like they want to know most.
Well, then let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute, right?
Set it up.
There was a, you went through bankruptcy, right? And that's pretty public. You went through bankruptcy, and there was this, the $5,000, business expense thing has been talked about by your detractors quite a bit. They say, what could you possibly be spending $5,000 on? Look, a month. You are a streamer who streams, by your own schedule. You're active 12 hours a day doing this, right? And there's
And by your own admission,
hours a day.
you said like you didn't fix the set at all. It's been just a shoddy set for most of you.
What are you talking about? Look behind him. He grabbed some pixel art that was rotting in the garage for the last decade, and he put it up there. And then also he brought a Pac-Man light that was on clearance. That's amazing.
Over a decade of doing this.
Right. So
yeah, Adam's fucking blind, dude.
There's this whole like what do your business expenses look like? I mean, I've done this for a long time. The business expenses are your initial cost of setting up your camera, your lights, and that's about it. And then after that, it's your cost
Internet
is your
bill?
time.
Yeah, 5K.
Yeah, is your time,
business
right?
expenses.
And so walk me through, what does that look like? What is it specifically? There's this $5,000 business expense every month. So what is this?
Okay, so first of all, we're talking about things.
Oh
that
yeah, I
came
saw
out
the Dirty
publicly during
T-shirt,
bankruptcy,
the Blanca one, right?
proceeding, correct? And I believe that the $5,000 a month number came off of. I believe it's from a tax return. Is that correct? That it was filed or the data. I'm trying to remember exactly where it came from. You guys probably know more than me because you've probably been inundated with this for 2 weeks. While I'm so far removed from this.
I want to hear it from you.
I think, again, I'm just speculating. I think what happened was when I filed for bankruptcy, a lot of information goes public. And so they look at a public filing. I guess there's certain information that's made public. I don't think it's all your tax returns.
Hey, Shasta. Thank you.
Or something.
I appreciate it, dude.
And I guess there was a number that was thrown out there that it looks like Phil spends $5,000 a month on business expenses. Now, number one, I don't do my own taxes. I have a tax guy to do. I pay him to do it. Okay. Here's what I can tell you. All right. I can tell you right now because I'm working on it right now for this year. What are considered expenses that a tax attorney wants to know you're spending every month? Geez, your mortgage, because if you work from home, I guess that's part of it. I don't know. Again, I'm not a tax guy, but your cost of your mortgage, all of your utility bills that apply to you operating the business. Correct?
Hold on, Phil, you've been doing this for 17 years and you don't know what your business expenses are. You don't know what you get tax write-offs on and stuff. I mean, like,
specifically, no, I don't.
He's got a tax guy.
A lot of money to a tax guy. I have a giant
spends a lot of money on it
that I provide. They work it out because every year it's different. I get to feel the tax laws change and stuff, and they figure it out. I give them all the data. In fact, just got an email from a tax guy the other day. He's like, we still need this data for you for this year's tax.
I just remember that this guy has a business degree and has talked about it several times. That's pretty cool, dude.
How much do you pay for utilities? What's your cost of internet this year? What's this? They need all that information, and I got to get them to it, and then they do it. So, here's the thing. All right, everyone, we're really gonna get to the meat of it. Is this stupid WWE champions bullshit, which I cannot wait to talk about.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And we'll get to that, but I want to stay on this for a minute. I want to stay on this for a minute. Like, once again, walk me through this because, like, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and I'm trying to
while you're piecing it together, building that up. I just want to remind you, Phil, like you said at the beginning of this stream, you want this to be where people can go to finally like, oh, you just go watch that video, right?
Yes.
I don't have to say it anymore. So correct. Like this, you said like, what do we want to know? This isn't for us.
Macy,
This is
I
for the
thought you were going
people
to
out
bed, dude.
there that are like, what about the $5,000 a month? You know,
Sure.
so what about WWE Champ, which we'll get into? Like, what about these things? So it's like, this is your chance to now say, all right, it was the freaking business expenses,
Yeah, let us
whatever.
know,
I mean, it was
Phil.
the mortgage, it was this. I don't know if that's actually considered a tax write-off. I don't want you to get in trouble, but I don't know. It just feels
No, and see, that's the thing. Again, when I went to that bankruptcy, oh my God, that was
We want to know where the
crazy
5Ks go to.
because
Goes to.
my tax attorney, excuse me, not my tax attorney, I misspoke. My bankruptcy attorney had no idea what they were getting into with me being a public persona.
Wow.
And there were things you can do, I guess, to protect from online harassment, which they did. I tried to explain. They didn't really understand who I was or whatever. And so when all that went public,
Just
that
tell
was
them I jacked
the
off
most
online.
drama-filled bankruptcy hearing ever.
The most
The judge was
drama-filled
inundated
bankruptcy
with
hearing
thousands of messages from
ever.
haters about stuff. But anyway, let me answer the question first, and then we can get to anything you want to
Do
talk
I have
about.
Discord notifications?
I
on?
would assume that the expenses are including
Oops.
everything that I do. Okay, that's related to the business, and that could include mortgage, any insurance that I'm paying that relates to the business, health insurance and or medical costs, legal costs, and that what I'm talking about is my tax attorney, but also other attorney and things that I've been involved in over the years, which maybe we will get into that today, or maybe we won't. I really can't talk too much about certain things. We'll get to that about identity theft and stuff. I know it's the first time I ever mentioned
identity
that,
theft.
So,
well, first of all, no, it's not the first time he's mentioned identity theft. He's talked about this before. And second of all, I can't believe he's doing that, dude. One of the not one of the first videos I posted, but very early video I posted was taking his streams, what he was talking about during those days, and then comparing it to the bank leaks. And they line up so perfectly. I mean, there's so much proof now that like even that video doesn't mean shit anymore. But like there were transactions of him going to claim jumpers, and then 2 weeks later he's on a stream and he's talking about, oh, me and Cat go claim jumpers all the time. There's just so much stuff, dude. It's obviously him. I can't believe that he's... Yeah, why would you want his identity anyways?
among other things, all the normal things in a month. Like I said, utilities and all of that. It adds it up. Here it is. Here's my tax return. All of a sudden, I'm being accused that was a lie or something. All right, here's what I can say. Because I'm not going to sit here and go back to a 2010 tax return and say, here's what my accountant said or whatever.
Right.
This is from 2010. That's $5,000 a month.
Oh, excuse me. Did I say 2010? I meant 2020. That's totally my fault. I meant 2020. My bankruptcy was 2020. So I think the tax return that must be referenced is like 2019, something like that. Okay. Here's what I know. Because of the amount of trolling that happened to me, this judge that was involved in the bankruptcy hearing was attacked online with so much shit. I had to go into meeting after meeting with both my bankruptcy attorney and this judge. Hours of work. We went through line item by line item all of my expenses. I had to explain to a judge who has no idea what live streaming is, the entire concept of being a live streamer, and showing every single...
Well, if they have no idea what live streaming is, do you think they're gonna know what WWE Champions is? Or like what expenses I mean, I have no idea how he got past bankruptcy other than the fact that it was COVID time, right? So I'm sure there weren't as many checks and balances, right? But if the dude didn't even know anything about live streaming, then I don't know how they're gonna check the expenses of a live streamer.
Expense and line item and rationalizing what it was.
I've never
to
been
my business. This is this, right?
bankrupt though, so I don't know what they
and
how
it
that
took
thing
so
works.
much work. At the end of the day, after all that extra work and time and money that had to be put into my bankruptcy, it went through.
That's why I'm
The
guessing
judge
this, sir.
understood. I showed them everything.
Right?
If anyone should see
You somehow
line
convinced
item by
them.
line item what my business expenses are, it should probably be the judge who's going to make a ruling on if I should.
Yeah,
break the
laziness and
bankruptcy.
COVID.
Right? That's the government.
Hey, get more
government
blood. I see.
Representative, correct? They saw it all. They went through all of it, and at the end of the day, they said this all makes sense. Approved.
Well, but in the vast majority of time, winners in bankruptcy experience like some sort of relief, right? Whatever the debt is that you were paying, it's gone, right? So why do you feel why do you have to go back to the well, going back to your audience, and ask your audience
Because he
to
has more
crowdfund?
bills. Hey, Peaches. If you can even hear that. F-Zero for Super Famicom. Damn it, I have it. I'll play it next stream, which will be tomorrow, dude. All right, good. We're back. I'm probably gonna go sleep soon, but
I had in my name. But there's
let's
still
watch
debt
some
that
more.
remains. There's still my mortgage. There's still my car payment. There's still taxes. And taxes is a big thing because for years there, I was not able to pay my federal taxes properly. And
well,
it came back to bite me.
you couldn't pay them, or you didn't prepare to pay them properly. There's a difference. Because
yeah,
I thought you hold on. I thought you said that you paid a guy to do your taxes.
I do, correct, to file the taxes.
Because I think the one thing that people need to understand is that you are acting as an independent contractor with YouTube and Twitch and whoever, right? So when you're paid, when somebody gives you $1 super chat, YouTube takes 30% of that, right? And so you get 70%. That 70% then needs to be taxed by Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam comes in and they take however much of that. So by the end of it, you could be getting anywhere between 50 cents of that or 35 cents of that, depending on what your revenue is for the year, and you're the
people were also telling me that it starts falling apart really around this area, so we won't get much further today, but I don't, if it falls apart even more than it has in the first 2 hours, then people are not lying when they told me this shit was insane.
Tax brackets you're in. It sounds like, Bill, that you didn't necessarily plan accordingly for that, and you didn't save your money to ultimately pay. And if you have a tax person to do this, a CPA, which is for any online creator, that's like the number one expense is having a CPA to do your taxes. That's the number one thing, because going through and that's extremely important.
No, she didn't spoil it.
Your tax, has your tax person ever came to you and said, hey, you should probably prepay your taxes. You should be paying quarterly instead of having one big lump sum at the end of the year, because seems really irresponsible for somebody who works online and has done so for 17 years to have a tax person who hasn't suggested that and haven't had you prepaid.
Do not, please. That my tax guy is great.
Okay.
He I have an estimate of what I should be paying, not even quarterly, monthly.
Okay, then why isn't
I make this
he doing that?
payment? And some months I can easily make it no problem, and other months I can't.
Is he?
I have to pay less, depending on the income that I made that month.
But that income is based off of your tax.
Then why does he have all these end of the year fund tax fundraisers then, if he's paying them off every month? And I mean, some months you're not able to make the payment, but then you won't need that big rallying fundraiser, right?
For that month is based, and your quarter and your year is based off of the revenue that you're making that month.
Exactly, Excalibur.
So if you make $10,000 that month, then you're going to be, then you prepay whatever, $2,000 in taxes, however much it is, right? So the money is already in your account. So why would you have trouble spending? Why would you have trouble with that? I'm really having a hard time following this.
Yeah, right. That's not your money.
It's either being spent before it's time to pay taxes, or I don't know. I don't know. Please walk me through
it's money that you're gonna have to.
So I have two revenue streams.
Get
One
taxed
revenue
on.
stream is very much daily income that I get from my viewers, meaning like tips.
That's your demeter too.
Pretty much tips on a stream. The other revenue stream is the other income that I get from YouTube. That's ad revenue, super chats, memberships, and all of that. Okay. Daily I get tips. And that essentially is the money that I'm using day to day to pay some bills, go grocery shopping, buy a new.
Like I said, it's been a while, but what does so food and bills is what the daily tips go to. So what does that giant fucking payment that he gets every year or every month go to? Does it just go to nothing?
Game for the stream coming up, all that kind of stuff.
And also games.
The YouTube money that comes in behind the scenes is what I use to do all my ongoing recurring
more
payments,
bills.
my mortgage,
my
car, health insurance payment. Or
Wait,
whatever.
let's see.
Going recurring. The YouTube money that comes in behind the scenes is what I use to do all my ongoing recurring payments, my mortgage, my car.
Yeah, I thought the tips did too, though.
Health insurance payment or whatever. Here's what's happened, okay? The bankruptcy happens. Great.
Yeah, Hulk
End of
Hogan, we know.
2020, things are looking up. I'm actually getting more popular on Twitch. I'm starting to make good money. I announced to my audience
That
in
he
early
never talks about
2021,
it.
hey guys, guess what? There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You guys are supporting me so much. The bankruptcy went through. It's looking like if you keep this going this year.
You know how many times, even before the bankruptcy arc, Phil had kept on saying that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. If he can just get through this month, then he's gonna be good. He should be able to catch up on stuff. He said that for years. It's absolutely insane.
Not only for the first year in many years, because now the bankruptcy's over with. Now I can
Yeah,
pay
the
all my
Scopely
taxes
bill.
properly for the first time in a long time. Because my problem is we have that much debt and everything. You can't. I couldn't do it. It
Yeah,
was my
one
fault.
last
It was financial
hurdle.
ruin. All right, 2021 things are looking up.
Every month for
And then
years.
what happens? They get me kicked out of the Twitch partner program. They shut down other revenue.
Thank you,
streams for me
happy,
that I
slappy
can't really
puppy.
talk about. Later on that year, identity theft, which we might or might not get to today. I don't know if we'll talk about that. That's a huge one.
You
Identity
clearly
theft.
want to talk about it.
Yeah, he's
And we'll get there. We'll
he's
get there.
begging them
It
to
cost
talk
me so
about
much
it.
money to fix the identity theft thing. So now I went from I'm good to I immediately have lost a revenue stream from Twitch. I have to go to YouTube. I'm making way less money on YouTube
Sav told me about
than I
that
was
killer
on Twitch.
groups.
All that money that was going to make everything even good to go now, it's gone again. I'm way reduced income again. So you're right. The taxes adjust now. Nothing else adjusted. My mortgage still exists. My car still exists. All those regular expenses still exist, and now I'm making way less.
Yeah, Mr.
So,
Dong.
This is a running pattern, and I hate this shit.
Yeah, it's a running pattern.
Every
He
time
does...
in life, I feel like I'm getting ahead.
Yeah.
Something happens and screws me over.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
serious. It's like a comedy of errors. It's
But
ridiculous.
once again, Phil,
been saying that
why
for
not
years,
remove all
dude.
that shit and just do something different? I'm not telling you what to do, but like if you keep running it, if you keep running.
I started watching DSP right after he broke up with Leanna, but before he started getting with Kat, that like 6-month period. And I swear, since the beginning that I've been watching him, he's been doing the whole last hurdle thing. It's been
running into
it's
a wall.
insane.
Eventually, you need to take a different direction, right? And like I love that you love what you're doing right now, but if you're still struggling,
Yeah, I remember the SOK falling apart was in the worst of DSP when I started watching that the year that I started watching him. What was that? 2017?
so
maybe?
immensely.
2018?
At a certain point, don't you need to like self-reflect and say like, look, man, I'm running into this wall fucking
I hope
5
so.
times. I should probably not be doing this or change my approach to it.
I hear you. And like I said, I had that conversation with my mom in 2019 about changing it and, not be beholden to people, do something different with my life. I mean, yeah, let's be honest. A major factor is money. Have to be honest here, right? That's what this is about.
2017?
I'm going to be transparent.
Major factor. It sounds like it is the factor. I mean, it sounds like you're just spending the money as it coming in instead of saving and preparing for the next month where it might not be
Because
as
he has to spend the
profitable,
money, dude.
so that you could be like, I'm saving. Maybe I'm not gonna buy that new game. Maybe even though it's probably a write-off because you're doing it for a business, doesn't matter.
Right.
It seems like you just gotta start saving money. Maybe be a little smarter for the future. I mean, I'm not trying to like lecture you.
No,
on
you're
money,
right.
But
You
it
are
seems
right.
like you need it. So
Yeah, I need what I need. And I've said this before. I'll just say that
Sure, Phil.
I need like a year. And here's what I mean by that.
Oh,
I need 1 year
my God.
to make content and not have my trolls fuck with my income.
it's never gonna
ever-
happen.
I agree
Never.
with you. I now agree with you. I know that now. But that's what's happened is every time
Oh my
something
God.
happens, that screws my income again. Well, wait, here we go. I worked my ass off. I changed who I am. I'm a different kind of content creator. All the things that they had issue with me. This is why they do it to me, right there. We don't like Phil for this. Okay, I'll change all of that.
All right, I'm sorry, everyone. Dingus told me. Oh wait, that's right. I did give him a year. I gave him a year with no blooper world order streams or videos or clips, and he's not doing any better.
Nope, still do it anyway. Ruin his income.
So why
no.
change? Why change? What's the point?
Yeah.
It's not doing anything. Why wouldn't you just stay the person that you were and that you or you are or whatever, instead of like trying to like adhere to people on the internet, because the people on the internet are gonna hate. The haters are gonna hate. Like, who fucking cares? So what's the point? You're doing it for nothing.
I agree. I understand what you're saying. At the same time, I feel like that a lot of the changes have been very productive. I like I said, now I love what I do for a living. I didn't before. I do now. I actually genuinely want to be here every day.
Dude, he hates
with my
games
audience.
way
It's fun.
more
I wake
now
up in the morning energized, ready to
than
go.
he
I
used
just wake up in the
to.
morning like, I gotta go play games and film again. That was a horrible mentality. Who wants, I treated it like any other job. This now I love it for the last 4 or 5 years. But I hear you. But yeah, if I were to quit YouTube, let's say right now, cold turkey, I quit YouTube. I can't find a job out there that's going to pay what I'm doing now. In addition to that, there's always the factor that I've been out of the job market for a decade. Who's going to hire a 40-year-old guy that hasn't done anything besides, operate an online streaming business?
I mean, if you actually like improved at, I don't know, video editing or anything technical that has to, there's a lot that goes on with live streaming, right? If you improved on anything, you could definitely put that on a job application. I mean, I wouldn't want to put that my name was Darkside Phil on a job application, but it's not just playing video games, right? If you're like a hardcore streamer,
Nobody
this dude
nobody
could have
with
learned
that
so
attitude,
much.
though. So
Could have learned so much in the last year.
You're already defeated, not even worth trying. So you're putting yourself in this hamster wheel that Craig was mentioning earlier. It's just like there's no option. This is
exactly.
So I have to grind. I have to do this. And like that sounds miserable to me. Even though you say you're having fun, it seems like you're just trying to convince yourself that instead of
actually
it might be true. It might be true, but these two things could be true also. I'm just pointing that out what I'm seeing.
You could work with
and I'd just like to kind of continue on with that, right? The idea of like, do you have a business plan? Do you have what it looks like what your business looks like in a month from now? Do you have a business plan for a year from now? You have a tax guy who runs your numbers, but are you saving money? Because it doesn't sound like you are, because just based off what you're saying, and it very much sounds like you're going to be doing this when you're 60, right? And if you want to be doing it when you're
Yeah, Peaches, that's exactly what I'm saying. You would think that 15 years of streaming would some kind of skill you would have learned. You could have gone to, what's that website? Skillshare or whatever. You could have gone Skillshare and learned some skills. That said, he's been doing the same thing for years.
You're 60, that's fine, but
it's not a death sentence.
But this doesn't seem very forward thinking. When you seem like you're living day to day as opposed to thinking about long term.
Yeah, I know he's
and
lazy.
Dude, you're 40 years old, and at a certain point, you got to look at things and say, like, well, do I want to be doing that? Like, will I ever have enough money to retire? Will I ever have enough money to not do this?
I can't wait to be watching 80-year-old Phil.
Walk me through that. Walk us through that. The idea of
Elder Scrolls.
and it's okay to say you don't have a business plan. It's okay. It's like we're putting it all on the table.
Trade, yeah.
And if you don't, that's fine. Just kind of walk me through it, man.
Currently, do I have a business plan? No. Have I had business plans in the past? Yes. And every single one of them has been destroyed by my income being ruined over and over. To have a plan, a long-term plan, you have to know my income being ruined over and over. Yes. And every single one of them has been destroyed by my income being ruined over and over.
Okay. I have no idea what the fuck that meant.
Plan, you have to know at least what the stability is going to be today and depend on a little bit of that stability. And it sucks. Like Adam said, YouTube, Twitch, any kind of online content creation is a constantly fluctuating thing. Tomorrow, everything could be turned off for all of us. We can't even stream, right? It could be a new law that says we can't do it anymore, in which case then I guess I am boned and I got to go out there and get an offline job, right? But how can I lay out a business plan when every month is different, when it looks like there's consistency to my life? Oh, here's what I'm making every month.
Toxic Carl.
That's exactly what was happening in 2021. There was a series of months, like the first 3 months and 4 months of the year. Things were going great. I had a business plan. Here's what I want to do. Let's do this for a certain amount of years. Let's expand. Let's improve the setup. Let's try new things. Let's do this. And then if it keeps going, you get to the next stage of the business plan, right? And what happens? I lose my partnership, identity theft, income destroyed. Now what do I do? Business plan.
Just like I was saying earlier, but he was saying that, wow, he was just like a couple months away from being completely caught up but then he lost Twitch. But like I said, he's been saying the same thing since 2017. He keeps on saying that, oh, if we just have a good like stretch here of a couple of months,
Gone.
then
So
we'll be
how can I
fine.
set a plan when these people
It was
won't
not gonna be
allow
fine.
me to even have any level of stability in my life, or even a few months?
You know what
because
you
of the
do?
Stuff that they're doing.
You make another business plan. You move forward.
Shut
That's
up,
what you do.
Adam.
Like I mean, I don't.
What choice do you have?
Right.
The only choice is to make a new one and continue moving
I
forward.
agree. Give me blood, or
I agree.
give more blood.
I will not be beaten by these people. You know,
It's not, what you just said sounded like you were.
oh
Like,
no,
you have been
absolutely
over
not.
and over again.
One of the
I'm
major
letting you
things-
know. I'm letting you know what you what you had just finished with.
Mhm.
You know, I had a business. He
Yeah,
asked what your
Adam's
business plan
stupid
is.
as
He was
hell,
like,
dude.
I had a business plan, but they kept shitting all over it. Like that was your response instead of this is my business plan, right? You don't have a future vision. I think that's what
Oh,
Craig
I
was
do.
going
Okay,
for.
okay. I spoke. I do have a future vision. The problem is, if I fully explain it, they're gonna try to ruin it. You understand?
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I should have said that. I'm sorry about that. Like, do I have an idea of what I'd like to do? Yes. I know exactly. Actually, I have steps in place to know exactly what I can do to try to fix my situation. I don't want to
That
listen.
sounds good.
I don't want to be here on stream every day saying to people, "Toss me a few bucks." Oh my God, that's the worst feeling every time I effing do it. I don't want to say, "Hey,
He
tip me,
seems to
do
love
this."
it.
That's obnoxious. I just want to play games and chill with my audience.
Yeah,
And
the
this is
soy
fun part
voice.
that my detractors will never mention. Before my income kept getting screwed over all these different times by them and by my choices. It's not just them, it's also my bad choices that did this. I never had any kind of crowdfunding. It was always just Phil's making a living on YouTube
Yeah, because he was making a ton of money.
via ad revenue. I had no sponsors. I didn't take any money, extra money from anywhere. I wasn't asking my fans for crowdfunding. Everyone else was. I wasn't doing it. It wasn't until the revenue started to get hurt by that I decided to do crowdfunding because everyone told me to do it. Right now,
I'll
my
check it out,
income's
get more
ruined over and over by these people. And what's their number one critique of me? You beg too much. I wouldn't beg if you didn't keep messing with my income. The only reason I have to do
that's
it
weird.
is keep ruining my financial income. You keep ruining it for me. So
Beg-
how can I
begging-
have? Go ahead.
Sorry.
Do I stop it here? I gotta go bed. I don't want to end it here, dude, but we're at 1:52. I want to end it before things get even more heated, because it sounds like things are getting really serious, dude. So, I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll start a little earlier. Yeah, at time go. Thank you so much. I was so glad to see that after a year or so of not streaming, that like so many of the regulars, the people that I know, were here. So that was really cool to see. I really appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, I'm sorry twice, Stan. Yeah, tomorrow's game 3, I believe. Or is it? Might be the day after that. Alright, well, I will be back here tomorrow. Thank you so much again, guys. I will see you tomorrow.